2024 is here, and the Uno Mobile Community Cup is back with a whole year of competition. And we are going bigger with $50,000 total in prizing and open to even more countries than before with players from US, Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. For 2024's competition, we have split the year in half. The first half starts in March and ends in June, with the top players from each month making the first semifinal live show in July. The second half begins in July as well and ends in October, with the top players from these months playing in our second semifinal live show in November. Each semifinal live show will have a prize pool of $10,000 awarded to the top 4 players. The top 8 from each semifinals will make the final tournament in January of 2025 to end the year of competition and celebrate Uno Mobile's 6-year anniversary with an even bigger grand finale. A prize pool of $30,000.
Drops the yeehaw!
Nice challenge from Maria. Dusty's looking so strong.
Oh, the reverse.
Lane Boy goes to Uno here.
Looks like he might have an opportunity here and stays on the one!
Will you be the next Uno Mobile esports star? Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Community Cup monthly qualifiers to work your way through bronze, silver, gold, and diamond cups to make the monthly finals. The bronze cups will take place at the start of each month, giving you a chance to begin your journey from the 1st through the 8th and make it through the qualifiers by the 10th of each month. Join us March 1st to become the next Uno Mobile esports star.
Uno!
Uno! Reverse! Uno! Uno! Skip. Blue. Draw card. Uno. Reverse.
More friends, more rewards. Earn coins, diamonds, and an exclusive medal by inviting friends to Uno Mobile. In the events section, you can find Invite Friends. You can also go to Friends and click the Invite Friends button. For each new friend you invite, both of you will get 500 coins. Extra bonuses include 300 coins for the second friend, 500 for the fourth, and 1000 coins and an exclusive medal for the 10th. For example, if you invite 4 friends, you'll get 2,800 coins in total, and each friend will get 500 coins. Invite more friends for even more rewards.
2024 is here, and the Uno Mobile Community Cup is back with a whole year of competition. And we are going bigger with $50,000 total in prizing and open to even more countries than before, with players from US, Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. For 2024's competition, we have split the year in half. The first half starts in March and ends in June, with the top players from each month making the first semifinal live show in July. The second half begins in July as well and ends in October, with the top players from these months playing in our second semifinal live show in November. Each semifinal live show will have a prize pool of $10,000 awarded to the top 4 players. The top 8 from each semifinals will make the final tournament in January of 2025 to end the year of competition and celebrate Uno Mobile's 6-year anniversary with an even bigger grand finale. A prize pool of $30,000.
Drops the yeehaw!
Nice challenge from Maria. Dusty's looking so strong.
Oh, the reverse.
Laneboy goes to Uno here.
Looks like he might have an opportunity here and stays on the 1!
Will you be the next Uno Mobile esports star? Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Community Cup monthly qualifiers to work your way through bronze, silver, gold, and diamond cups to make the monthly finals. The bronze cups will take place at the start of each month, giving you a chance to begin your journey from the 1st through the 8th and make it through the qualifiers by the 10th of each month. Join us March 1st to become the next Uno Mobile esports star.
Uno!
More friends, more rewards. Earn coins, diamonds, and an exclusive medal by inviting friends to Uno Mobile. In the events section, you can find Invite Friends. You can also go to Friends and click the Invite Friends button. For each new friend you invite, both of you will get 500 coins. Extra bonuses include 300 coins for the second friend, 500 for the fourth, and 1000 coins and an exclusive medal for the 10th. For example, if you invite 4 friends, you'll get 2,800 coins in total, and each friend will get 500 coins. Invite more friends for even more rewards.
Uno!
2024 is here, and the Uno Mobile Community Cup is back with a whole year of competition. And we are going bigger with $50,000 total in prizing and open to even more countries than before with players from US, Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. For 2024's competition, we have split the year in half. The first half starts in March and ends in June, with the top players from each month making the first semifinal live show in July. The second half begins in July as well and ends in October, with the top players from these months playing in our second semifinal live show in November. Each semifinal live show will have a prize pool of $10,000 awarded to the top 4 players. The top 8 from each semifinals will make the final tournament in January of 2025 to end the year of competition and celebrate Uno Mobile's 6-year anniversary with an even bigger grand finale. A prize pool of $30,000.
Drops the yeehaw!
Nice challenge from Maria. Dusty's looking so strong.
Oh, the reverse.
Laneboy goes to Uno here.
Looks like he might have an opportunity here and stays on the 1!
Will you be the next Uno Mobile esports star? Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Community Cup monthly qualifiers to work your way through bronze, silver, gold, and diamond cups to make the monthly finals. The bronze cups will take place at the start of each month, giving you a chance to begin your journey from the 1st through the 8th and make it through the qualifiers by the 10th of each month. Join us March 1st to become the next Uno Mobile esports star.
More friends, more rewards. Earn coins, diamonds, and an exclusive medal by inviting friends to Uno Mobile. In the events section, you can find Invite Friends. You can also go to Friends and click the Invite Friends button. For each new friend you invite, both of you will get 500 coins. Extra bonuses include 300 coins for the second friend, 500 for the fourth, and 1,000 coins and an exclusive medal for the 10th. For example, if you invite 4 friends, you'll get 2,800 coins in total, and each friend will get 500 coins. Invite more friends for even more rewards.
Skip. Blue. Draw card. Uno. Reverse. Uno. Uno. Uno.
2024 is here, and the Uno Mobile Community Cup is back with a whole year of competition. And we are going bigger with $50,000 total in prizing and open to even more countries than before, with players from US, Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. For 2024's competition, we have split the year in half. The first half starts in March and ends in June, with the top players from each month making the first semifinal live show in July. The second half begins in July as well and ends in October, with the top players from these months playing in our second semifinal live show in November. Each semifinal live show will have a prize pool of $10,000 awarded to the top 4 players. The top 8 from each semifinals will make the final tournament in January of 2025 to end the year of competition and celebrate Uno Mobile's 6-year anniversary with an even bigger grand finale. A prize pool of $30,000.
Drops the yeehaw!
Nice challenge from Maria. Dusty's looking so strong.
Oh, the reverse.
Laneboy goes to Uno here.
Looks like he might have an opportunity here and stays on the 1!
Will you be the next Uno Mobile esports star? Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Community Cup monthly qualifiers to work your way through bronze, silver, gold, and diamond cups to make the monthly finals. The bronze cups will take place at the start of each month, giving you a chance to begin your journey from the 1st through the 8th and make it through the qualifiers by the 10th of each month. Join us March 1st to become the next Uno Mobile esports star. Well, good evening, folks, or maybe good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome into the Uno Mobile Community Cup 2024 semifinals. I'm Gojj. I'm going to be your host again, and I am so excited to be back. Semifinals are big, folks. We got $10,000 on the line. We got people trying to make it to the annual finals. This is going to be wild. Before we get into the competition, I've got a couple reminders for you, all right? So first and foremost, I need you to download Uno Mobile if you haven't. If you're watching this show and you're checking it out and you haven't played Uno Mobile yet, I don't know what you're doing, so go download Uno Mobile right now on the iOS or Android Google Play Store. You gotta go check out the game. It's free to play, and of course all of these links I'm going to be telling you are all down below, especially if you're with us on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, why don't you just drop a follow on all of the major socials? Uno Mobile's constantly got competitions, fun events, things for you to interact with on all of their major social medias. They've got all of them, folks, and I think we're live on most of them, so howdy wherever you are. But if you're here on YouTube with me, drop a follow so you can keep checking out these amazing broadcasts. Now, I'm not going to be talking to you as per the usual by myself. I have to bring in a very special friend of mine, the wonderful, the illustrious Katie Bedford is back. Katie, how are you doing today?
I am so good, Gojj. I love anytime I get a chance to jump into these Uno Mobile competitions. They are always a ton of fun, and I have a feeling today is going to be a pretty good day.
It's going to be an incredible day because it's the semifinals. I mean, we have so much up for grabs and so many things to talk about before we get into the gameplay. So maybe if people haven't paid attention to the Community Cups or the last semifinals we did, let's talk a little bit about the rules for today's competition. Break it down for me and how this is going to work.
All right, so if you're not familiar, it's the first to 3 Uno Mobile wins. However, it's the top 2 in a group that move on. So even if you don't get first, that doesn't mean you're out of the running to be able to extend your chances in today's tournament. And of course, we have the stack and the discard all functionality. And as we know, Gojj, discard all really keeps things mixy.
Yeah, this is our competitive rule set. We've been using this now for a very long time, and so I know the players are used to it. And again, they all qualified to be here. That's the thing. This isn't, an in-game qualifier. They actually worked through an online qualifier with the other top players from the in-game quals to make it here today. So these are the top 4 players from each of their respective months. And speaking of those players, I think it's time to talk about a couple of them because it's the second half of the year and we've got the top 4 players from July, August, September, October, all here today. Look at our bracket, folks. Again, top top 2 moving on, and frankly, you can't afford to lose at this point. There is no double elimination. If you're the top 2 in Group A, you're going to be moving on into the semifinals. So let's take a look at a couple of these players and talk about where they came from. We've balanced out all of these groups with a winner from their monthly final, a second place from a monthly final, a third place, and a fourth place. So you'll see players from different months all competing against each other to try to make it deeper into this bracket. So let's take a look at Group A first here, Katie. We got Lenny, Ryan, JC83, and Poppy representing Group A. And look, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I love doing it. You got any early predictions on who you think might take Group A?
Look, Lenny, that smile isn't messing around, Gojj. Lenny is here to get the job done, and I feel it based on nothing but vibes alone that we're going to be seeing an extension to the semis.
I like it. Well, top seed, I gotta say, Linea's top seed was the winner of that July finals, so definitely has maybe a favorite. He's not the underdog going into this. I'm definitely a favorite. I'll be really curious to see what the streams and the people at home think. But let's take a look at Group B and talk about these players as well. So Chase was second place in July, and we've got Kaboom, who was first place in their monthly finals. So you kind of see that all of these groups are seeded as well, and who we think could win because they won their monthly finals. But it's a brand new day with brand new players, brand new competition. Anything could happen, especially here in Group B.
Look, I love Kaboom as a name. I think it's great. I just want to know how many times he tried to enter Kaboom with the O's and had to keep adding another O before Uno Mobile would let him. We got to 6 O's and it happened. So best of luck to Group B. But that's not all, Gojj. We got 2 more.
Yeah, let's take a look at Group C. The top seeded player, You Lose, won their monthly final. We got Missing Key was second in theirs. Kirik, Yaya, all incredible players. I even remember it. So I do a lot with Uno Mobile here, obviously hosting these shows, but I also help out with those monthly finals. I remember Yaya, a really, really strong player that had some tough luck at the end in the finals of their monthly final. Still made it here, though. So I think if they can continue to channel the momentum they had in their monthly final, could see Yaya really dominate here in Group C. But let's go to Group D and round out our competitors today. We've got Coco Chanel at the top, winner of their monthly final, Dottie right behind, and then Fi and Pickle. Any predictions on Group D here, Katie?
Look, I go purely based on the names I like the most, and Pickle is just such a fantastic name. So like I'm here for Pickle in Group D. You know, we'll see what they can get done. But I think the important thing to keep in mind, Gojj, is that all of these players are incredibly talented. They had to go through a lot to get to this point, so we know they all can get it done.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part about these competitions. This truly is esports. They have so many qualifiers, the in-game qualifiers, the monthly finals, and then you got to get top 4 in the monthly finals to make it here today. Today is all about the cash, sure, but if you get top 8, if you just make it out of group stages at the very beginning, you have a spot in the annual finals. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But folks, as per the usual, I'm a man of the people. We've got a lot on the line for these players. We have an opportunity for you to win some rewards just by typing in some gift codes, just by being here, folks. You get 400 coins, 5 diamonds, and 1 4x shield. All you have to do, click the settings in your Uno mobile app, go into the app, and head down to gift code, click redeem, and type in join semifinal now. This is big. We've got a lot of these. You gotta stay tuned because we've always got gift codes for you. I see people in chat asking for them. Don't worry. I'll help you out. I'll keep you updated on when they are coming, all right? So make sure you type in that code. And if you missed it because it went pretty fast, our moderators can help you out. They've got all the codes for you. There is a limited amount of redeems, though, so make sure you type that in pretty quick, all right? Don't wait too long. But, Katie, that's all of our kind of pre-programmed updates. We got everybody at home all caught up. We're ready for the first game already. We're going into Group A, and I am so pumped about it. We're going to see maybe if Lenny here, again, the winner of the July monthly finals, see what he can do.
Well, take a look. JC, though, with 2 plus 4s to start things off. That's about as good as you can ask for off rip.
Yellow.
Yeah, this is looking pretty strong for JC83. Again, it's all about the classic conversations we have in these competitions. It's all about how you use your wilds, how you use your discard alls, those are the biggest two things. And of course,
Green.
some of these players really good at bluffing, so I'm sure we'll see some of that as well.
Draw 4.
Yeah, and I feel like last time around we had a lot of blunders with bluffs and people calling things maybe they shouldn't have. So we'll see if it's
True.
different this time around in these semifinals. But we swing over to red and it goes back to green. So much green through this entire round.
Yeah, this is actually really big for Ryan, except for the fact that Lenny's going to change things up. Lenny really in a strong position here. And again, that always goes to show just because you have 2 +4 wilds doesn't mean you're always going to win. Now, JC still has a chance to prove that wrong, but decides to play this +4 very early because, well, he didn't want to draw 4. So how about 8 going to Poppy? Lenny set up for success. Look at that start from Lenny.
Ooh, and JC gonna be forced to draw. Does get a 3, but that's not gonna matter. The reverse comes in though, but gonna have to draw again another yellow. Yellow's everywhere, but in the end, Lenny just patiently waiting. Gojj say, y'all can reverse, y'all can pull your yellows, but I'll be here.
Okay, Katie. Look, I gotta say, pretty good guess there on Lenny being the top dog, the top seed, and winning the very first game so far, going by the book. But you never know what can happen in Uno, folks. It is literally unpredictable fun, all right? So we'll see if Lenny can go back-to-back. Again, 3 wins, we're done with the group stages. Whoever gets it is moving on, and then the other player, whoever has the second highest amount of wins, that's the other player going to be moving on to the semifinals, and they won't be playing each other in the semifinals, by the way. They're going to be split up on the other sides of the semis. So a lot on the line. Again, we want to make it to the semifinals. That's the most important part, but then there's a ton of cash for those that can make it to the finals, the final round of today. That's the first game, though. We still have plenty more to play in this group potentially, and in a lot of other groups down the line. 3 more to go after this. They're all waiting for us as well. So if you're maybe waiting, if you're in Group B, Group C, Group D, you could do a little scouting on your competition in these games, all right? So watch out and see how they play. See if they bluff a lot or don't. But, Katie, we're back into it.
We're jumping right back in. Lenny had a pretty decisive win the first go around. We'll see if we can get some of that again this time, or maybe Ryan, Poppy, and JC can get on the board. Already a nice discard, all the first one we have seen so far, but I'm sure Gojj probably not the last.
No, absolutely. Now, the key here for Lenny is the fact that, well, he's only got reds, essentially, but besides that 3, and no wilds to work with. So Lenny not in a great spot at all, frankly. The good news is people are burning their +4 wilds early. That's Ryan putting down his first. And as long as those keep getting put out here fairly quickly, it's still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, I mean, actually, some of the polls happening here, you said it, right? Lenny's not in the best spot, but, like, it's working in his favor so far.
Yeah, and this is the question. Ryan playing this wild very early. Oftentimes, you see some of these players hold on to those wilds to, like, the final minute or so. Burning it at 2 minutes left is, frankly, wild. It's crazy. But we'll see if it pays off. Poppy looking like they can win it here. A normal wild isn't an auto win, but I don't think there's anything anybody can do about it at this point. Poppy with a win on the board. Nice win there, Poppy, sneaking one in. And frankly, Katie, a big boon that only one player on the board had +4 wilds, and they were on the opposite side of the table, so Poppy didn't get hurt by it at all.
Yeah, I mean, Poppy kind of isolated, right? And was just able to have things go in their favor. I was so focused on Lenny. I was like, oh, this is doable. And then you were like, oh, Poppy. And I looked up and I was like, oh, Poppy. All right. Poppy on the board with a swiftness. Now, Lenny was feeling comfortable, but I think now is the time. If you're JC, if you're Ryan, you got to get on the board before things get out of hand.
That's right. Well, Poppy, by the way, 4th place, Katie, in the August monthly finals. So, again, technically an underdog, albeit getting to the top 4 in your monthly final is incredibly difficult. You have to go through a bracket just like this one in the monthly finals. So, definitely an underdog on paper. Doesn't mean they're actually an underdog here today, but I don't know. The way Lenny was playing in the very first round, maybe they are. But we'll see. Poppy and Lenny on the board. Either one keeps winning and nobody else does, they'll both be moving on, but plenty more Uno Mobile to be played.
Gojj, I gotta know. You've done so many of these, and I've been lucky enough to do a lot of these Uno Mobile events with you. But when are you going to enter into one of these Uno Mobile Community Cups? Because you have the sauce. You've been here. You see all the plays, the top level skills. Like, surely you must be prepared for your moment to shine.
Yeah, I will, you know, I don't know. I'll talk to the people behind the scenes. I've been doing this a long time. I gotta say, I love the Uno Mobile community, and I love being a part of these broadcasts. I do love dissecting plays, like analytically. So I don't know. Maybe I would do well in these competitions, or maybe I'd be terrible. It is a lot easier when you can see all the cards like us.
That does help, you know.
I don't know. All right, here we go. This is game 3. Nobody can take it all yet. But could be on kind of that penultimate game potentially if it's Lenny or Poppy getting a win here. And Lenny, again, actually looks really strong right now. Nice, you know, a couple colors and a +4 wild that they don't have to burn yet. And it gives them protection for these moments. A very early +4 from Poppy. That
I was surprised by
Lenny.
that.
Yeah, me too.
Red.
And swings it back. I mean, it's forcing out some wilds, puts Ryan in an unfortunate position. So not the worst thing for Poppy, but definitely not ideal. I say that. It goes into a reverse. If Lenny chooses to use it. Poppy will need a draw. But down to 2 cards.
Look at JC.
JC in a good spot. I know, JC's in a great spot, actually, to be able to close this out.
Yeah, this would have to go to yellow somehow right now for JC to not get a win, and it doesn't happen. JC on top. We got 3 games in, 3 different winners. Wow. This is what we expected with Uno Mobile Esports, especially in the semifinals with so much on the line. Everybody playing for the win, and a great play there from JC. Fun conversation point too, because when you look at the kind of analytics of the way the game works, something you will always see is if somebody has a discard all and they play it, you know they got rid of all of that color. So if you can reverse back into them and keep it that color, perfect. They have to draw or they have to play a wild. It's exactly what you want to do. It was a great play, had to do it. And then unfortunately, because of the setup, nobody's able to do anything about JC. So now we've swapped people around. We've got JC at the bottom of our screen, and we got a lot of wilds back on Lenny, who's now on the top of the screen.
A lot of wilds, and I feel like these first 3 rounds were so fast between all these players. The wins were very decisive, but the skips already coming out. Ryan forced to take 2, swings it over to Lenny, and that's going to be all the way back to JC. Oh, no. This is going to be a double-digit burn.
Yeah, this is bad. This is a 12. Now, I got to say, chat, if you guys have a prediction, how many people or how many cards do you think we will max out at today? The biggest draw we've seen thus far was that one. 12, but I think last semifinals we got to 20. Somebody had to draw 20 cards, chat. It was wild, all right? So I'll be curious to see how many, our maximum draw is today.
Poor animation for that went on for so long, too, when we watched it. It's just card. It never ended. But Poppy now on an Uno, a discard all from JC, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to get them back into this when 50% of the lobby are on Uno.
Yeah, Ryan is in a really, obviously, great spot. I don't know that there's anything JC can do. Doesn't know. It can't skip. Doesn't have anything they can play. Ryan on the board. And, folks, I will echo exactly what I said right before this. We have every player with a win now. 4 games, 4 different winners. This is what you can expect in the semifinals. It is very, very close.
It is super close, and that's what I said going into these last 2 rounds. Gojj was JC and Ryan, they need to get on the board right away. You don't want to be down 2 wins, someone just a win away from getting those 3 they need to move on. So now everything all tied up. It's anyone's game. Lenny might have started off confident, but maybe a little nervous now.
Yeah, all right. Now, as a quick reminder, what I was saying at the very beginning of this game, the wins are all that matters unless there's a tie. If there's a tie, it goes to score. So you can see the score down below where all the wins are. These are important numbers if there's a tiebreaker to see who moves on with whoever gets 3 wins, all right? So just keep that in mind. I'll remind you, of course, if it does end up happening. But wilds across the board, the only one without a +4 wild is JC.
Yeah, and most of them, I mean, happy to get rid of that green. I think keeps things moving. Does force JC to use 1 wild as well, but the question, there it goes. Wow, all right.
Okay.
A lot of fearless usage of the +4 wild early on.
Yeah, I don't mind the strategy. It's very aggressive play. Again, I think we're going to see something different in either Group B, C, or D, where some of these players really hoard the +4 wilds unless somebody forces their hand. And, well, Poppy forced the hand. JC, the only one that couldn't answer the call, which means +12 yet again.
Yet I think maybe 1 discard all in there, but Lenny, if you can get that green and puts you onto that red +2, not a bad spot to be in. But really, Ryan, an opportunity here for everyone who's playing red, but the skip comes in. That's going to be +4 over to JC. No. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, but there we go. There was the discard all.
JC had no chance, and because JC didn't play, we stayed on green, a discard all. We told you we were going to see some discard all wins, and we've seen it already in Group A in our 5th game. All right, these are going quick. You're going to see the whole gambit of Uno Mobile gameplay today, especially with this semifinal with all of the very talented players we have. And we've already seen a lot of what you can expect. We obviously see stacking coming into play. We had the +12s going to JC and more. But then a discard all win. You don't need to say Uno when you can discard the only 4 cards you have in your hand to win.
Yeah, and that's a big one too, because it can just throw people off. If you have multiple cards, they really don't know what's going on, and you can avoid a situation with just throwing down that discard all because they can't anticipate it most of the time. But this is it. Lenny, a chance to close things out. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the rest of the squad here isn't ready to let it go just yet.
We'll see. Now, yeah, this is a really big moment. I got to lean forward, all right? Because if Lenny wins, we're done with Group A, and we're going to be seeing Lenny, and it looks like Ryan who would win that tiebreak. You can look at that score, but Lenny has to win, and right now, not in the best spot because Poppy, yet again, above a 2-minute +4 to avoid drawing 2 cards. Poppy in the best spot, technically. Lenny in one of the worst, but things can change very dramatically, very quick.
You can at least choose to throw down that discard all if you want. Unfortunately, it's only going to be 2. Decides to go with making it yellow. That's really only going to benefit JC for the time being. Forces Poppy to draw.
Reverse.
And we can swing things back, and I like it. Forces Poppy again. Just does not want to give Poppy a chance to play the game right now.
Green is big, though. Oh, just kidding. Ryan's not playing his green. He's going to change it over to blue, thinking JC doesn't have one, and he was right. Poppy set up with a discard all, but it's not enough to get rid of all of his cards. And because JC has a 3, we go back to green. Somebody's got to change it off of green, or we're in trouble. JC could get his 2nd win, and he does.
There we go.
No one can do anything about it. JC, a brutal last map. This time around, the table was nice to JC, and he snags another quick victory to now have 2 players on 2 wins.
And that's going to be great news for them, because even if you don't win this next round, hey, if you have those 2 wins, you're going to be in 2nd place, which means you'll advance anyway. So everyone wants to be first, Gojj, but you still have a little bit of a safety net to work on for the time being.
Yeah, that is a great point, Katie, and it's something we hear players talk about often when we think about how they play the game. If they can, right now, JC and Lenny, the top 2 players right now with 2 wins, they can't really affect each other's game because they're not sitting next to each other. So they can't try to make one of the other ones win. But either JC or Lenny winning here is good for both of them. So they can remember that if there's something they can do to try to thwart Ryan or Poppy, that's the most important thing they can do.
We'll be getting rid of those. Blue swings it over. All right, back to blue. Lenny said no yellows here. Not yet. And look at those 2 wilds. That could be a big deal on Lenny's end, but we've got the +4s coming out early, and that's not going to be good news for Poppy.
It's terrible news for Poppy. It's fantastic news for Lenny, because Lenny didn't have to burn one to protect himself. So now gets to choose. Do I want to go ahead and use one? I know Ryan has to draw. I think so. You've got an extra in pocket. Blue, a great call. Not what JC needs, but Lenny in a really good spot.
That's, I think, our first failed challenge that we've seen today, too. I mean, at that point, Ryan, go big or go home, doesn't work out. I like the switch it back to green. I don't know if they're going to listen, Ryan, but they'll do their best.
Yeah, they definitely will. Poppy thought about the discard all with green. Maybe thinks Lenny could be holding on to a discard all, so didn't want to risk it. I like the play. Lenny forced to use his +4 wide, but still a minute and a half on the clock. A really smart play from Poppy.
I'd be so over it if I'm Ryan. I'd be like, can you not keep just throwing +4s at me? Like, thanks. But here we go, a chance. But unfortunately, oh, wow, big draw to get that blue. Lenny, just 1 green 2 away.
I know. Or maybe they could throw down just a 2 in general. I don't see one, maybe a red from JC, but it would need a follow-up skip. There's the green. Got lucky. Lenny had to draw before. Couldn't go out. A couple +2s. Oh, no. Lenny's going to have to draw 6.
Oh, no.
They saved the day. The competition may continue.
Wow.
The question is, who's going to win now? Ryan's right back into the mix with another discard all in his hand as well. This is still literally anyone's game.
Imagine Ryan wins this. What a comeback that would be.
It's definitely possible, but right now it's all about Poppy. We got to change it off of yellow, and we finally do. That sets up Ryan. Oh no, this is going to be really close. Skip coming through. Lenny might discard all here, which he does. Ryan now on Uno. There is no kind of green showing, though. I'm not sure it'll go there. Lenny's going to try to probably make it go there eventually, but a lot of time still left with 17 seconds. Anything could happen. They're going to start drawing very quickly here, Katie. And no, it stays yellow. Poppy snags the win. And now we have 3 players on 2 wins.
I wasn't even looking to my left, and then suddenly you're like, and Poppy, and I was like, and Poppy? Yes, sure. Poppy out of left field. Literally. Amazing job. I mean, takes it away. Ryan got so close, though. That was such a good comeback. Just wasn't able to close it out.
Yeah, and I think that's the nature of our kind of esports rule set, right? Like when you are forced to draw 20 some odd cards, which Ryan was that game, you oftentimes will draw a discard all that allows you to get right back into the mix pretty quickly. However, it does kind of set up your opponents to be able to use their discard all as well. So something to keep in mind is when do you want to do that, or when do you want to play action cards out of that same color you could have put down. But a nice new deck showing here. We love the candy deck. It's beautiful and maybe kind of makes me hungry. And again, Katie, big note here. The only way we do not end Group A here is if Ryan wins.
Correct. We could go the full distance for Group A. Really, it's anyone's opportunity, as you said, outside of Ryan, who's going to be the one sweating on wanting to extend this.
Green.
But we'll swing over to green. Look at that green discard all for Ryan. That's exactly what you want. And Poppy has a green discard all as well.
That's right. But we go to red here, so Poppy likely just going to play their wild and go ahead and play it out. Goes blue here. Maybe he's either a bait or knowing that most people don't have it. A smart play. It works out. Except Ryan says, all right, let me go to Uno, and I'm not bluffing, folks. I need this yellow. And with an answer back from JC, we know it's going to change.
Draw a card.
Here we go.
I mean, if they can somehow stop Ryan, it's not the worst situation for Poppy because you have a bunch of discard alls to get rid, but that's going to be tough. I mean, JC on that Uno is going to throw down the skip. Lenny going to try and do something, but...
Yeah, this is still anyone's game. Ryan got a +4 wild on a +2 draw. That's a net victory for Ryan. And prevents his opponent from being able to go down to Uno and get out of the game. So it's still close. Unfortunately, Ryan doesn't have anything going with all yellows, and nobody wants to go there right now. Just has to keep drawing and hope for a discard all probably at this point.
Well, there we get our yellow, but like just a distinct lack of blues until we say that. Poppy has at least a handful, but if you're Ryan, you wish you had a discard all right now. Wow.
Yeah, still 50 seconds though. If it can stay yellow, Ryan can actually burn through all of his cards. The question is, which one do you play? Obviously, the 0 counts for nothing in your hand, so gonna go ahead and burn the reverse. Ends up not paying off because it gets changed to red, so now Ryan's having to draw. But we're nearing up on 30 seconds. These players are gonna start playing very quickly.
That was a big pull, too. Ryan's gonna have to draw again. This could be a risky one. We're gonna have to see what ends up happening. A 5, not the worst potential option, but definitely not ideal. That +2 not gonna help. Now in second place, Lenny back into first.
Yeah, you gotta get your action cards out of your hand right this second. I don't think we're gonna see a player run out of cards. It's gonna come down to score, and right now we got a lot of action cards in people's hands. Poppy able to jump up to second, but not first. 5 seconds on the clock. They're gonna try to move quick. Ryan gets nothing. Lenny just needs to burn the time. Don't play anything, just wait. And Lenny gets the victory. Unreal. The top seed wins it all here in Group A. Not only will we be seeing Lenny moving on to the semifinals here in this competition, in the semis of the overall Uno Mobile Community Cup, but Lenny has technically just booked a ticket to the annual finals a little bit later in the year or next year, pending on some updates I have for you a little bit later. Lenny, big congratulations, and I think I know, but I'll wait to see who the other player is that's moving on to the semifinals in this competition, Katie. What a way to start the competition. Group A, we nearly saw the maximum amount of games, and we saw just about everything you could expect from Uno Mobile. Here's a quick look back on some of those replays, Katie.
Like I'm telling you, Lenny's smile. I knew from the very beginning, Gojj, that Lenny was going to cruise to victory, and that's exactly what happened. Things got a little dicey, but it was a strong opening. But then systematically, every single person got a win.
Yeah, I think that's the key point is we watch every person get a win and then almost every single person get a second win, which was wild. Only Ryan, the only one, unfortunately, that wasn't able to grab a second win. There's JC's second. And some really big moments. We started out with like 1 minute games. It was crazy fast.
So fast.
And then the last like 3 or 4 really strong +4 wild plays to make sure we stall the game out and go to time, which here's that final win from Lenny. And let's take a look at it. Lenny on top with 3 wins, but it's JC83 also moving on into the semifinals of this competition, barely beating out Poppy in their total score from the 2 wins they got. What a wild finish. And again, this is esports for Uno Mobile. That's how close it will be every single time. Lenny going to be heading to the top of our semifinals bracket, and we're going to see JC down in the bottom of our semifinals bracket. They might meet again in the grand finals with how dominant they were in their Group A.
I mean, they certainly could. I think they've got to be feeling so good that they got through that first round. Now, just a couple more games. I think that's always what's crazy to me is as we take a look at Group B, as Kaboom is ready to rock, is that it's not actually that many games of Uno to get yourself into the finals.
Yeah, no, it isn't. I mean, you just got to play right. And potentially, it could just be 3 games in your group. We could see Kaboom win 3 in a row and see Kaboom into the semifinals immediately. We went to game 8 in first group. Anything goes here in Group B, and I'm really excited to jump straight into the action. Again, Kaboom is going to be the top seed. Kaboom won their monthly finals. That was the August monthly finals. Won the whole thing, and now another amazing deck we get a chance to take a look at. This one a bit spooky. I really like the mosaic look, but Kaboom, the player we're looking at first.
I love this. I've never seen this deck before. This is actually so great. But there we go, right into it. Group B, ready to show. I think they're here to show up Group A, Gojj. I think they want to give a decisive ending to this group.
Yeah, the problem is who's the one that's going to be excited about the change and who's going to be frustrated, because if it's opposite of Group A, we might see either 3 or 4 games in total being played, and that only excites 1 to 2 people, I suppose. But Kaboom, another early +4 wild. These players are not waiting. They are not hoarding those wilds. They are burning them very, very early. So far, Kaboom in a decent spot, but is going to take the +4 wild from Tez at some point.
Wow.
But Tez with the discard all means Tez is going to win this thing unless they can reverse all day, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Tez with a 1 minute and 3 second victory. Woo, all right, we're starting fast again for Group B.
And there's a lot of cards in play as well. So not only do you get that round win, which is great, but that score padding that's going to happen as well in case it gets to a tie situation, gotta make you feel pretty good too.
Yeah, you got to feel amazing. That's a huge win with some wilds on the board too. Katie, it's a really good point. If it does come down to a tiebreaker, that score is massive. So when you win, you total up everybody else's cards, their totals. Wilds are 50 points, action cards are 20 points. Huge numbers there for Tez. You can see it, 291 after 1 game down at the bottom of our leaderboard. Very, very big win, but still a lot of work to do. Let's see if he can win again in maybe under a minute this time.
Wow, and Kaboom and Chase with back-to-back double +4s. And gonna be good news for Tez, at least for the time being, if they're a little farther away. But things could get a bit scary. It's gonna need to stay in this direction, and Fenris is gonna need to have no +4s. But that's gonna get a little scary.
That was a huge win for Tez. The fact that Kaboom played their reverse first and Tez was able to recorrect the course. I don't think Tez knows this at this point. Of course, we're the only ones that can see everybody's cards, but that just prevented Tez from taking about 16 cards, as both of these +4 wilds will stack on each other twice now. We see Fenris taking the 8 cards first, and we'll see if maybe they take it again in a second.
That'll put Chase at just 2, and one of those being a wild. So we'll get a +4 here. It swings over. Exactly. That's, Fenris is having a tough go of it. But I mean, Chase in prime position, there's not really anything to stop you.
Yeah, classic. If you can hold on to the +4 wilds to be your last cards, there's almost nothing anyone can do. And as such, Chase is going to join Tez with a massive victory. We couldn't even read Fenris's cards. They had so many. And because of that, Chase is going to be up on top there with Tez, the 2 players with wins apiece and a ton of points between them as well, in case it gets a little dicey like Group A did.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be feeling good for them. They had good hands, especially that moment with the reverse into the reverse. Just so big. Maybe not necessarily for who did the double reverses, but the course of that round really played out in that moment. But you got to be feeling good. Chase, Tez, they're on the board, but Gojj, we're not over just yet.
Okay, with 2 wins in, folks, we've got a YouTube poll right now. You got to vote for who you think is going to win. Already 140 some odd, maybe even more of you have voted at this point. And it looks like Kaboom, the early leader, and who the YouTube chat think is going to win. So I don't know. Kaboom needs to step up right now. The only player, one of the only players without a win. But I'll see if YouTube ends up being correct.
YouTube has some pretty good guesses most of the time. Their intuition's pretty good, but Kaboom, you're going to have to heat up sooner rather than later. And Tez, this is going to be setting a +4. We're at +10. We're going to get to 14, then 18, and Fenris is going to have a really, really bad time.
Oh my goodness. 18 cards for Fenris. This is our new record in this semifinals at the very least, folks. Did you say 18 in the chat when I asked how many was going to be the max today? Or are we going to see 22 later? Who knows? But an 18 card draw for Fenris. Yet again, Fenris, I can't even read your cards.
That is so unfortunate that really is 2 rounds in a row. Well, hopefully there's some big discard alls in there at least somewhere. But I think maybe Fenris said, hey, here's a +2 just because you upset me because you started all of that.
The good news is hopefully Fenris has another +2. You got to have one. Okay, that's what I thought. There's a +4 to Tez. Got to get back in the mix. Likely has some discard alls as well. As long as they can stop getting attacked by other cards, there they go. Again, this is what happens when you draw a ton. There's always an opportunity to come back. But unfortunately, Fenris does not have any yellows, so you're going to have to burn a wild.
Ooh, but that discard all, I think we're seeing when they're in red, could be huge if it stays on it, which it looks like it will. Chase does have that 4 to put him on Uno, and this should be, yep, there we go, a big discard all. But Fenris, none for the greens. That's tough.
Yeah, and right now it's all about what is your top deck going to look like. A lot of people having to draw at this point. There's the final wild coming out from Fenris and goes to green, which is great for Tez and Chase. They're both going to go down to low amount of cards. Chase, of course, on Uno. This could be a really big moment. Chase can't play. Top deck luck. What are you going to get? Not too lucky, not yet. And all of a sudden, Fenris could get into the mix here.
Okay, but Tez in a great spot, just 30 seconds left, and is gonna have to draw the +2.
Wow.
Swing it right away. That's actually a huge draw.
That's actually huge for a number of reasons, including the fact that the +2 that had to be played from Chase means Tez is going to win. Same color, Tez on top. Tez with 2 victories, folks. All of a sudden, Tez could win it all in only a couple games played.
Yeah, I was worried there. I was like, that draw, there's just not a lot of time left. But sometimes Uno Mobile says, I know exactly what you need. Top deck draw, perfect.
Yeah, look, there is a lot of skill in this. I gotta say, there is a little bit of luck as well. And if luck is on your side and you're skillful, come on, you're gonna be an Uno Mobile champion. Here we go, right back into it, taking a look at Tez. And quickly, of course, my eyes are drawn to Kaboom, who finally has a good hand. A very good hand, and we are moving very quickly to a point where there is nobody that could do anything about it if we get to yellow.
Very true. That yellow could get dicey pretty quick, but so far, staying on green. But Kaboom, hey, you got the extra card to spare to get it to the color you want, so why not? Why not throw down?
Yeah, I wonder, though, is Fenris going to go ahead and burn the +2, which means Kaboom will actually have to burn his +4. No, gonna hold on, and a skip comes through as well. And as Fenris gets skipped, all of a sudden, Tez down to 2 cards, putting us on red. And there's only 2 players that have that.
That's actually got to be so frustrating for Kaboom. Like, I don't want to have to waste both of these back to back and get skipped. But we could see things end up staying on yellow. We'll have to see. Fenris does have a +2, but that's going to stack right onto Kaboom. And Kaboom, you tried, but that was a tough couple go-arounds.
Like, for us, it's so obvious. Now we have 2 players on Uno. We got to watch out for Fenris and Tez. Tez can win it all here, by the way. In goes yellow. That gives Tez the win. It's over.
What?
Fenris, you tried to bluff. You tried to bluff, and you wrote your ticket home. Close out the app. You're done. Tez just won Group B because you went for the bluff on a basic wild card. That is brutal. Of course, we can see the strategy, they can't. It was a little bit of a tough luck there from Fenris. A nice try, but unfortunately, when Tez was the only one on 2 wins, that is a tough one. And because of it, Tez has not only won, but taken another player with him. Wow, I think YouTube might be wrong. Looking at our poll, I think a lot of folks thought Kaboom was going to make it. And it's looking like that's not going to be the case. We'll wait for the final scores and make sure. But I don't think Kaboom got a win. Really unfortunate circumstance if you're not a fan of Tez. And if you are a fan of Tez, heck to the yeah. That was a quick win in Group B.
Heck to the yeah, it certainly was, Gojj. And you absolutely killed me when you said just turn off the app. Just leave the app. You just don't. You don't get to be on Uno Mobile anymore, which is not what we want. Don't worry. Even if that blunder means that you're out of the tournament, get back on. Get back on. It's okay. Don't listen to Gojj.
There's always more competition. That was a huge moment there. Obviously, the +2 is lining up perfectly for Tez to close it out. But right here, the bluff to yellow. Thinking Tez maybe didn't have a yellow was the play there, or the bluff. Either way, still a really strong and aggressive play that didn't end up paying off. And because of that, Tez decisively takes the victory. And as we all knew, Chase also going to be moving on to the next round. The only other player to get a win. Now, it wasn't 3 up, 3 down, but it was dang close, Katie. That was 4 games total played, as opposed to the 8 that we saw played in Group A. And you can see where these players end up lying. We got Tez down in the second semifinals there, and we've got Chase up in the first one. Folks, this is a big moment because we have 4 of our 8 players into the semifinals. It means we're halfway through the group stages. We also have 4 of our 8 players from this semis that have made the annual finals at the end of this competitive year. A huge boon for them. So I'm excited to see what these players are able to do. We're going to take a very short break here in the booth. And when we come back, we'll see what Group C and Group D have to offer. And will it be different than the first 2?
Uno. Reverse. Uno. Uno. Skip. Blue. Draw card. Uno. Reverse. Uno.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Uno Mobile Community Cup 2024 semifinals. We're halfway through our group stages, and I've got a question for you. Were you paying attention during the break? What's your highest Coins League rank? Have you made it to Legend yet? Remember, you gotta try the new Ring Royale mode, okay? Did you watch our break content? We got a lot more content coming your way as well. It's a brand new tournament that anybody from any country can join in app Ring Royale. keep playing it if you haven't. I want to hear your ranks in chat if you have, all right? And as a reminder, that's all in app. So how do you play it? Well, you got to download the game. You know it. You know how to do this. This is super easy. Head over to the iOS or Android Google Play Store and go download it for free, all right? It's always free and it always will be. And make sure you follow Uno Mobile on all of those socials. Are you watching this broadcast? Fantastic. Make sure you're following whatever social media you're watching us on. I think we're live, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all over the place, all right? So go drop a follow because there's always cool events you can get be a part of. And speaking of being a part of something, let's bring back Katie so she can be a part of the broadcast. Katie, a nice break, but I am ready for Group C and D. And before we get there, we get to test people at home on their Uno knowledge. Folks, this is how you earn your gift code that's right around the corner as well. Here is your question. You got to type it in the chat. Players who have made it to which tier can join the Ring Royale contest? Were you paying attention? Do you know the answer? Is it A, Expert, B, Elite, C, Master, or D, Legend? Type your answer in the chat. Type in A, B, C, or D. And frankly, if you already typed in C, you are wrong. Hopefully you haven't, because it's A, B, or D. Which one is it? Were you paying attention? Do you know? Have you done this before? Have you played Ring Royale yet? Is it Expert? Is it Legend? A, D. It is D, Legend. I know. I see the folks in chat that have gotten it right. Don't worry, I know you know your stuff, okay? And I'll reward you for it as well. Go earn Legend in Ring Royale, all right? I want to hear about it in chat. I want to hear how good you are at Uno Mobile. And just for participating in our trivia, we've got another gift code for you as well. Let's roll it. Here's your next one, another 400 coins, 5 diamonds, 1 4x shield, and this is what you need to type in. Very specifically, 16, the numbers, and then Uno H2 Masters. You can see it on your screen. 16 Uno H2 Masters. We're in the second half of the year, folks. We've got 16 Masters in front of us. 16 Uno H2 Masters. Head over to your settings and app, down to gift code, click redeem, and type in this code now, all right? Go get your rewards. I see you asking for it, and as per usual, I'll keep helping you out.
You're so nice, Gojj. I mean,
Nice.
look. By the way, I don't know about you. I was literally looking at it. I was like, does that say hamsters? That 16 Uno hamsters?
H2 Masters.
Which is why I
Two.
need you. I need you. Thank you, or I'd be lost.
I'm the Uno Mobile gift code expert as well. But yeah, we love rewarding you all at home for playing along with us in our trivia. And look, we've got a couple more trivia down the road. We need to pay attention during our break content because there might be some secret answers in there. And we've got a couple reveals down the line. So keep watching, all right? Now we're gonna watch Group C. I think they just got started. Let's swing over to Group C and see how these players do. Because again, is it gonna be a top seed player moving on, or will it be somebody down at the bottom that's gonna shock the world, Katie? Let's get into it.
Look, I'm here for shock and awe. I'm here for legends to be born, Uno Mobile to be played, and hamsters to spin on their wheels. Yeah. Let's get it.
Unfortunately, I think You Lose is going to get it right here.
That's
looking
such a great
really
name.
strong right now. And Katie, this is what I say to you anytime we play Uno Mobile. You lose, because I am way better than you, and You Lose is going to try to prove that they are better than everybody else. But right now, not getting any draws. And You Lose maybe the first player as well to hold on to the +4 wilds, be willing to draw a card because they are so valuable at the end.
I mean, I think that's just you on your ult, really. I think you're doing two things at once. I think you're playing and you're casting yourself. It's really actually incredible.
Yeah, very, very multi-talented here.
Just remember, Gojj, I will bring you up, but you bring me right back down. So you know.
Cool. Yeah. +4 wild being played from You Lose. Now, finally, can't avoid the wait any longer. And because Kirik was actually the first one to play theirs, Kirik then has to draw 8 cards. Green. So, unfortunately, again, You Lose and Yaya, 2 players we highlighted at the beginning of Group C, both really, really strong and both in a really good position.
And we're going to get a decent amount of discard alls. Kirik, at least hoping to keep it there. We'll be able to get rid of the yellows. But yeah, still in a pretty good spot if it stays on these yellows in particular. But not meant to be. Swinging over to green, which literally no one has.
Yeah, I didn't mind the play for missing key there. They could have played another discard all in red, but it would have lost a +2 and potentially set somebody else up. They didn't know if there was more discard alls out there, so decided to line wait, throw to green as a bluff, so that people would maybe stick to the colors that missing key actually had. But now Yaya and Uno Got to get it off yellow, and we immediately do. Now feeling safe enough to throw the discard all down, and it was a nice play to make sure the game continues.
Yeah, I almost wonder if maybe using the skip instead would have been more beneficial, but now so few cards on the board. It's all about a blue world. And it looks like Keurig got to be able to take it away. Yeah. Unfortunately, just not a lot of options there, and Keurig got to be happy to first on the board.
A perfect string of events, by the way, for Keurig. Set up the blue. Everybody goes, oh, we haven't played blue in forever. Let me get rid of all my blues. And all of a sudden, nobody changes the color, and Keurig wins because all they had was blues at the end. So a nice victory there for Keurig in the very first game of Group C. An opportunity potentially to make the semifinals of this semifinal competition. A couple more wins, and who knows, maybe this will look like a lot more like Group B than maybe Group A. Again, Group B finished in 4 games. Group A finished in 8.
Look, it's variety. You know, variety is the spice of life, Gojj. We might go the distance. We might be snappy on into the semis, but I think any of the players who aren't Keurig right now, they're going to want this to go the distance because, well, they got to get on the board in the first place.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they are running out of daylight.
No.
My goodness, Keurig with a incredibly strong start, and at this point, I'm doing the math, and even having to burn their +4 there, I don't think there's anything anybody can do. No reverses that could be played to help out here. Now going to blue. That's just game over. That's just Keurig, and a nice challenge there. Unfortunately, missing key. It doesn't matter. Keurig able to grab another victory. That is the fastest victory I think we've seen today in 55 seconds. Keurig, 2 victories on the board. This is looking a lot more like Group B than Group A. Keurig could win in 3.
I think I have only ever seen a group have a sweep of 3 in a row one single time. So Keurig, chance for them to do it again here, but that is so rare to see in Uno Mobile because of the caliber of these players, right, Gojj? So who knows? Keurig might be able to make a statement in this next round.
Yeah, this is a statement that everybody is not really wanting to see if you're another competitor because good grief, Keurig. Another decent hand, not a fantastic one, but an early, gonna save the discard all and gonna go ahead and try to put it on the red. I think the strategy here is he doesn't want to show Uno. So if we can keep it yellow or keep it red rather, get the red cards out, then could maybe win. But we've gone pretty much every single color we could go, and we're gonna end on blue, which Keurig, of course, doesn't have. Folks, we got the YouTube poll. It's open, and frankly, you're running out of time. If you haven't voted, I'd vote for Keurig. You don't have to, but I mean, that's what I would do because he's already got 2 wins. If you're voting late, a great strategy if you like being right.
I mean, Keurig unfortunately pulls 2 green 8s, at least able to get away with one pretty quickly. Removes them without too much issue. But yeah, if you can get those reds out and then 3 cards, maybe hit the discard all, but anyone's game still.
You lose yet again playing a patient +4 wild play. Pulled a +4 wild off the top deck and didn't play it. I like that move from You Lose. Definitely a strong player. See if they can try to grab a win here before things are too late all of a sudden. We're almost too late. Holy cow. Keurig in a perfect position to win it all. And unfortunately for, I guess, just Keurig, another top deck to go to solo. Almost won there, by the way. If they weren't able to play on a skip, Keurig could have played. This is going to be incredibly close, but yet again, needs good top deck luck.
Wow. What do you get, Keurig? Does your luck continue on?
Skip.
Unfortunately not, but still in a pretty good position, although with 120 left, you gotta be a little scared of Yaya right now because those +2s aren't actually helping you.
Yeah, we got to get it off blue, and nobody can do it. Need a good, okay, we're still in the game.
Wow.
Pretty good luck. Unfortunately, still nobody can get it off. You need to do it again. Not going to happen this time. Keurig's had a lot of luck on their side, but they can't have all of it. Not the only winner on this block. We've got another player joining us in the winner's circle, at least for now, as Keurig still a chance to close things out very quickly, but can't full sweep Group C.
Yeah, I mean, you want to close it out in 3, but if you're Keurig, you already have 2 under your belt. You got to be feeling really comfortable about your chances in general because it's not just the top player in each group. It's the top 2 players. You already got 2. You're feeling fairly comfortable, but you do want to close it out here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think at this point, Keurig just wants to say, I got to make the annual finals. I got to get to the semifinals of this thing right now. There is no reason to wait. All of a sudden, you can look up. Everybody has 2 wins, and your score is quite high, but you never know. Here we go. Lots of wilds across the board here. Everybody's got at least one. Missing Key with 2. When do you burn the +4 wilds? That has been the name of the game.
Oh,
since
wow.
the
All right.
beginning.
We're going for it.
Very early. And unfortunately, we know, as we can see all the cards, not the right play because Missing Key and You Lose both have one. And unless the flow of play changes, which is possible, Yaya has a green reverse, but otherwise you're going to get punished for playing early.
Yeah, I mean, Carrick does have 2 big discard alls to get
There
them
it
down to
is.
just 2, but there we go. It swings over to red. We'll have to see right back over to yellow. So not a lot of longevity there. Yeah, going to be hit with a +8, but Carrick will be able to throw down a discard all. Chooses not to. I think is trying to stick, it seems like, with this discard all play as the final play.
Yeah, I like the strategy. It's just a matter of, can you get there? You got to set yourself up well and hope that people don't see your strategy quickly. Here's a +2 coming in. It'll add up to 4. Classic little stack to make things interesting. You Lose has been playing a good game. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been a great one. Still looking for their first win. And here comes some discard alls. I think we're only going to see likely 2, though. Well, if You Lose can't play, we could see 3, and it could be a big one. Do you go red or green here?
I mean, Carrick's going to be in a great spot at that point. You just swing straight into that blue Uno.
Perfect reverse straight into
Oh,
this
wow.
Yet again, great top deck luck from Keurig. This guy is different. Mike again goes back to
Hello?
Uno. Unfortunately, can't get rid of this blue card. And there's the blue. There's the
There we
setup.
go.
There's the win.
Wow.
Keurig. Not 3 up, 3 down, but dang close. 4 games in total played. An exact replica from Group B. Keurig with 3 wins and only 1 other player with a win, which means Keurig and Yaya going to be moving on to the next round. Big congratulations to Keurig. Masterfully played, and frankly, quite a bit of good luck on their side. They've made it to not only the annual finals, but a chance for a lot of cash here today. They can make it through the next round. I'd love to look back on Keurig's domination because, again, we saw just about the exact same thing we saw in Group B, but even faster. We saw a 55-second win from Keurig to start things off. And then it was just everything blown wide open as here's another moment. That one a little bit longer, but the rest very, very quick. And it came down to just playing the right cards at the right time as per the usual. But patience with wild cards, another big boon.
Yeah, I think decisive from Keurig. You have one single round that doesn't go your way, but just so patient on holding onto the discard alls, and it pays off. And there you can see it. The final Uno win. And now a 3-1. Yeah, gonna be skating on by, but I mean, scary out of Tez in Group B and Keurig in Group C. We'll have to see. Group D, do they follow the same pattern, or are we gonna go the distance again?
Yeah, here's a quick look at it, by the way. You can see Keurig going to be joining the likes of Lenny and Chase up top. Down at the bottom, we've got Tez, JC, and there is Yaya. So now we head to Group D. And here are our 4 players. Coco Chanel, the top-seeded player in Group D, winning October, the last chance to make it here. Won the whole dang thing. Dottie getting second in September are our top 2-seeded players. And then 5, Pickle, right there, Katie. I'm excited about this one, and I know you're excited to see if Pickle can win.
Look, Pickle's a great name. How can you not support someone named Pickle? And that's no hate to Coco Chanel, Dottie, and Co. Like, great names, but like Pickle, you know?
Sure. Just there's no numbers, no nothing. Just Pickle, which I love. So I'm excited to see what Pickle can do. Pickle got 4th in the July monthly final. So the first one that you could play to make it here ended up just barely squeezing into this competition. But with new competitors next to you, anything can happen. We saw the top-seeded player win in Group A, but otherwise, it's just been anybody's game, and we've seen 4-game wins across the board from B and C. So is it time to replicate the almighty 8-game series that we saw in Group A, or will we see a lot of the same here, Katie? I'm pumped to find out.
What are those tiny little pickles called? The little teeny ones they put on toothpicks, like really little guys? You get them with like a sandwich?
What are they called? I just thought they were called pickles. Am I lost?
No, they're like little teeny pickles. We need chat to help us with this. They're teeny little guys. Pickles.
I don't know, but fine.
Okay, chat, give me the answer.
Yeah, we need to know that answer right now.
Thank you.
We've got a lot of +4 wilds. Everybody has one besides Pickle, unfortunately. So Pickle in a brutal spot, even though the first player did 2 cards, and a couple more wilds going their way. Pickle might be feeling decent, and unfortunately, it's about to be a rude awakening as 12 cards are going your way, and Dottie's going to be on Uno.
Dottie is on Uno indeed. A great place to be if you can keep it on green. Goes for the bait and switch. Says maybe it's a yellow. Just kidding. It's not really, but you just need everyone else to believe it is. They'll swing it over to that red. Fortunately for Pickle, this is a tough time. It's because you didn't know what the little pickle, those little things. That's because you didn't know, Gojj. I'm not saying you're grieving, Pickle, but it's happening, and the Dottie win comes in.
So
I didn't even see the +4.
The +4 comes in, but what I'm worried about is anybody going to change it, because are they thinking Fia's bluffing?
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to let it ride? Are they going to change it? Pickle, all of that decision's on you.
Yeah,
you're not going to take any chances. I like the play goes blue. We play on.
That is such a... See, I'm telling you, Pickle Big Brain knows what's up.
Draw 2.
Yeah, and so far, again,
interesting on the not a discard all, too.
That's another big brain play.
Yeah.
Thinking potentially Fi, Dottie, maybe Coco Chanel could be sitting on discard all that could win it all. Now, running out of time, goes for the play here. Into red and a reverse. A classic reverse into a discard all means Fi has to draw. But what do you do if you're Pickle? Yellow, an interesting one. It's going to give Coco Chanel now the Uno with less than a minute to go.
Yeah, and this is where you got to be pretty decisive with your card usage. Not going to have a discard all, but it is going to put Fi on Uno, a pretty good spot, but doesn't have a yellow. But a reverse back into another yellow. Okay, not the worst spot.
What's the top deck look like? Not great. Here we go. A couple draws, and they're the same, but a +2
wow.
forces Pickle to stay in the worst spot on the table. 22 seconds and counting, folks. This is going to come down to the wire, and I don't think anybody's going to run out of cards. So how can you get your numbers as low as they can go? Fi really needs to get a good draw here if they want to win this one. And unfortunately, oh yes, it was what they needed. The 6 to play. 7 seconds here. Dottie takes the lead. Barely. We got action cards. We got to play it. Fi sneaks it in, but Dottie sneaks one right after. Dottie wins by 1 point. Look at that photo finish. It was creeping along. People were taking their time, and all of a sudden, card, because nobody knew who was going to win. And it comes down to the total score in your hand. Dottie, by 1 singular point, grabs the victory. What a crazy finish to the first game here in D. This is okay, this is wild. And now, with that in mind, folks, do you think Dottie's going to win it all? If you do, vote in the YouTube poll. We've got it active already. Who do you think's going to take it all? Are you voting Dottie because they got the first one, or you think it's somebody else?
I mean, that is the craziest endings we've had, at least in this event so far. Still much more Uno Mobile to be played, but wow, Dottie's got to be feeling on cloud 9 after a win like that.
Yeah, Cloud9 were really stressed, because I was stressed on that one. That was crazy. And now looking at the cards here, Pickle actually in a really good spot if we can get to blue, and I think most people want to get there eventually. It's a not bad spot. Or hey, how about discard all now? Pickle says, don't mind if I do. Let me set myself up for success by getting rid of my only yellow. But with nobody hardly having a red, this is where it gets interesting. Was that worth it? We'll see if it pays off.
Well, it's going to get rid of that wild, but you will still have the discard all to work with, which no one's going to expect with 4 cards. They're all going to be the same color. So might make this work, although you do kind of give your hand a little bit by sending it to blue, but who knows what's going to happen as it swings back around.
Oh, no, Fi didn't play the +2.
Wow.
You're totally right, Katie. Because Fi thought that they had 4 cards, it was like, I don't need to burn this action card yet. Fi was unfortunately there just with the discard alls in hand up top. That was a crazy finish. And it's that exact moment we talk about all the time of how discard alls change the game. With 4 in your hand, we're the only ones that can see their cards. You know, you're like, okay, there's 4. No way they're all the same. Perfect call there, Katie. And a victory because of it. Saving that action card for maybe a little bit later in the game. Woo! Pickle and Dottie now, the 2 with wins after that one.
Saying. Pickle got that ice, Gojj. Don't count Pickle out. Look at that. 2 +4s.
Blue.
It's true. Unfortunately.
Look at those otters. Adorable.
Unfortunately, I think Pickle is going to be bullying a little bit Coco Chanel here. as long as Pickle doesn't burn their second +4 a little bit too early, we'll see maybe another +12 going to Coco. But we'll see. Okay, a little patience here, and it pays off. Slots of green into a discard all stack here. So Pickle, again, like you said, in a really good spot. And here comes the onslaught. 12 cards headed over. Oh, more, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry. 14 because of the +2 from Coco Chanel. That's brutal.
Wow, and Pickle's like, I wish it was just going green so I could get rid of all these, but there we go. Well, I assume keep it up, swings it back to the blue, makes sense. Put yourself in that discard all win situation. Yeah, exactly. Exact same thing we saw last round, but Coco Chanel, oh, not ideal.
Okay, luckily Pickle can prevent another draw, which means Coco Chanel, we can't read your cards at all. Good luck. Hopefully there's a couple discards alls in there. And do we go? We do.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, what Pickle doesn't know as more discard alls come in is that Fi is going to win this.
What a draw!
Dottie with the crazy top deck draw for a discard.
Wow!
One was played, only had yellows. Dottie, that is how you do it. What a photo finish yet again from Dottie, this time with nobody but herself. It was still a fantastic photo because that one caught me by surprise.
Yeah, I was like, okay, there's some options here. What are you going to draw? And I saw it come from the top deck, and I was like, surely not. And then boom, here we are. Dottie. Look, Dottie doesn't win like regular people win. Okay, Gojj. Dottie has to have the spotlight, a little style, a little pizzazz on those Unos.
I like it. Look, take a look at Coco Chanel out of nowhere at the very beginning. 5 of the same.
Wow.
And a +4 wild, and we go green here. Wake up. It's the Coco Chanel party after the tough game in the last
reverse.
one. Dottie doesn't go for the reverse, but it's not going to matter. Coco Chanel wins this pretty much no matter what at this point. Change it to whatever color you would like. Wow, what a way to win. Really when you needed it most, because Dottie had a good hand and could have ended it all here in Group D.
Draw 4.
Nice.
Honestly, oh wow, and stacks another +4 onto Dottie to close it out for that extra score. I mean, look, Coco Chanel deserved that win.
Yeah, that was the last one was bad.
Tough.
So Coco Chanel, a little bit of luck on your side this time around means, okay, we got to win. We're on the board, and it was decently sizable in terms of points. So if we see another Dottie victory, we'll have to take a look down at the bottom of our screen when we get back in the game and see what the scores look like. Because again, if a player gets to 3 wins, we take the second highest wins. But we've got 2 players on 1 win. So they would tie. We then go to their score, and Coco Chanel had a 312-point game. That is maybe the biggest, one of the biggest we've seen today, probably second highest, and because of it, actually poised to move on instead of Pickle if Dottie wins.
Don't you be talking down about Pickle. It ain't over until it's over. All right?
Cards.
We have to have faith in all of our amazing contestants. Fi still waiting to get on the board, and not actually a bad amount of cards to be able to try and do it.
Yeah, take a look at Pickle's hand, by the way. 2 wilds and a skip. Couldn't play there, getting skipped a couple times. This could open things up. Fi in a very similar position.
Green.
You burn the basic wild. You try to change it to the color you want. Pickle's probably going to do the same over to red. We'll see what they decide to do.
Red.
Yep, there we go. Makes sense. Get it onto that skip, then try and close it out with that wild. There we go. Swings it over. Might force that +4. That's exactly what happens. We'll force out Pickles as well.
Here we go. We're going to have several cards drawn to the side of Coco Chanel yet again. Not as bad as last time. Only 8. And looks like a couple discard alls for the same color. Not a lot of help. We got to get it off, and we can't skip.
Smart.
We get it off the color. So now what do? Nice draw. We stay blue. Fi. Pickle with the draw as well. Nice luck there. And we see a couple different +2s possible. Coco's going to say, I don't think they have yellow. Let's go yellow. And look what Dottie's yellow is.
Draw cards.
Oh, she can stack.
Oh, wow.
We're good. We're chilling.
And there we go.
We're chilling.
Let's go, Pickle.
We set it up perfectly. Pickle grabs the win. The +4 came through. I was looking at Dottie's. What I was looking at was actually Dottie had a skip there that I thought they could play, but they were the one having to draw the cards. And because of that, stacked on top, took it to the color that Pickle needed. And either way you cook it, Pickle is on top and winning that one, which means we now have 2 players on 2 wins. May not come down to tiebreakers after all, folks. We've got Dottie, Pickle, both poised to move on if either of them win. But yet again, they're on opposite sides of the table, so they can't truly affect each other as much as the players next to them.
And 5, just right off the bat, hit with a +4. Not ideal. at all, but a huge moment for Coco Chanel, able to just get rid of a lot of cards right away, but Fi back into action. All the cards they just got taken out. But
Here
this is a lot going down quick.
The string of discard alls changes the game nearly instantly, and because of it, we see Coco Chanel. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's gonna go all the way back to Fi. Coco's gonna be on an Uno. Dottie's gonna be on 2 with a Wild in pocket.
Yellow.
The question is, what's the final color going to be? If it's blue, Coco could win here. Here we go. Another +4. What color do you choose? Green as a bluff. A strong move, maybe even stronger than Dottie realizes. Nobody else has one, and she has a Wild, a very, very strong move. But Coco, do you bluff again, Dottie? Do you do it again?
Green.
He does a huge move. You know Coco has to draw on a green, so do it again, even though you can't play a very strong move.
Wow, smart. And Pickle finally gets a nice top deck. We'll see if the same happens. Not again this time for Coco. A minute and a half left to be able to close this out. 2 nice top decks, but Coco not finding that luck.
No.
And Dottie would love to get a discard all.
Okay,
This is 3 greens in a row Pickle's pulled.
Yeah, this is insane luck here from Pickle, but look at Dottie's hand right now. We could see a classic Dottie victory if we're not careful. All they need is a discard all off the top deck if it does end up changing, or maybe we just stick with blues. Oh, that could have been something crazy.
Green.
And unfortunately can't play it. Now we're right back into the cycle. Anybody's game here.
Anybody's. And now with just a minute left, you're going to have to be quick. They cannot escape green. Green is forever, and no one has it except Fi.
Yeah, and barely in that case. We're going to probably come down to time at this point, the way it's being played. A quick play there from Fi means a couple drawn cards, and there's a big one. Dottie's going to have to answer back with a 4. That should go to a 6 all the way down to Pickle. Likely not seeing Pickle win this one, but a couple discard alls, all of a sudden you could be there. We are running out of time here, though, Katie. And right now, Dottie is looking good. Going to get one of her highest number cards here by playing that 8. But here come the string of discard alls. Which ones do you pick? Which color? Coco Chanel will go down to 9 points and take the lead with 20 seconds on the clock.
Wow, and that's a huge discard all for Coco. You got to hope it goes fast here.
Big draw.
Because there's only 10 seconds left. The 9 doesn't go down. Dottie takes the lead, but has to do a draw. And it goes back to Coco at the last second.
How quick can you play? Can anybody get it to Coco? I don't think so. Nothing can be done. Coco Chanel joins the winner's circle, the 2 winner circle, the double. We've got 3 players on 2 wins. This is starting to smell a lot like Group A, and we thought that history would repeat itself. We're getting a nearly identical mirror of competition. A and D looking a lot like each other. B and C looking nearly identical as well. A fun way to view this competition. 6 games played, 3 different winners on 2 wins apiece. And all of a sudden, we could see a full Game 9 series here if Fi can start picking up some wins.
Yeah, this could really go the distance. Things could get crazy very, very quickly. And a lot of these point disparities, if you're Dottie, you're nervous now because you were in those top 2 positions. But now with those big score lines from Pickle and Coco, you gotta hope you close it out here because you will not make it if either of them do.
Reverse.
Here we go. If you win, you're moving on. If you lose, you may not be. Fi, the only one that can continue this group's competition forward. And right now, in a decent spot, Coco Chanel and Fi. Dottie goes for the challenge and has to draw 6. Woo! That's brutal.
And here we go, though. The +2 from... Green. It actually does go to keep it green, but with the +4. Oh, and the challenge, a nice successful challenge out of Coco.
Yeah, that's actually, that might be game-changing. I mean, that was a gigantic moment for Coco to call the bluff, call the challenge, and stay on 2 cards now. Nobody with a red. Well, there's one. Not a bad shake of it, frankly, for Coco not having to draw. The question is, can we get off red? Yes, we're going to go to green. Coco, no greens means, a little bit in trouble here.
Yeah, not a lot of greens to go around. But hey, a nice wild draw. Going to be able to change things back to yellow. That skip could come in handy too. And a +2. Dottie will have to be careful.
After all of this, Dottie with the craziest wins I've ever seen. Dottie has to win in order to make it to the next round. Anybody else wins unless Fi keeps the games going.
Oh, but a +4?
Yeah, that's a big draw, but we got to be able to make use of it. Fi is running out of cards quickly, and now going to blue. This is going to get challenged if you play it. I don't know what you do here. You're just going to have to play it out. And Fi poised to win it all if you don't do something about it. And right now, I don't think anybody can. Dottie might just have to play the 4. You get challenged, and what are you going to do?
Wow.
It goes green. Fi's got to challenge this.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, there we go.
Successful. But the boon here is that Fi can't play. That is the only silver lining. So Dottie a strong move, but apparently Pickle really wants to go back to blue. And because of it, Fi gets the victory. We are on the exact same moment as Group A going into Game 8. Woo, that one was crazy. And unfortunately, Dottie couldn't do anything different. You had blues in your hand. You had a player next to you that was on Uno. Regardless of whether they had a blue or not, you can't really risk it. Plays it, gets challenged, ends up changing it to green, which was the win. But Pickle needed blue and needed blue bad, not knowing what Fi had. Woo! All right, we are still in the mix. And frankly, that was second best case scenario for Dottie. Dottie needed to keep playing or win, and wasn't looking like Dottie was going to win. So it actually works out quite a lot if you're a Dottie fan.
Green.
Well, and 2 wilds definitely gonna make the case for a Dottie victory here a little bit stronger. Still a lot of game left to be played, but some wilds, or excuse me, some discard alls out a little bit early. We'll see if it stays on green. It does. Could go back to blue, though. Maybe a reverse or a +2, and that'll start the cycle, and it's gonna end on Coco.
Here we go. Dottie, do you take the 2 cards or play it? We're playing a +4. Coco is in such a good position to win this one very quickly, but everybody else has that defense of the +4 wild, which means all of a sudden Coco is going to be in the worst spot on this playing field. And what Pickle chooses here could determine the outcome of this game. A yellow is a fantastic choice because Dottie doesn't have one.
We'll see if Dottie can get a lucky top deck draw. You're going to want to see a yellow here, and that's exactly what you get. Great. Do you stay? No, it swings over to red, but if you're Pickle, you're fine with that. Dottie, though, ooh, that's a tough +2.
Here we go. Pickle's going to go to Uno. First one there. Again, folks, as you can see the scores down below. Yeah, I was going to say, at this point, I don't know that you do. We got plenty of time on the clock. If anybody wins besides Fi, this group is over.
Here we go. Do you switch it at blue? Makes sense. That discard all is definitely something you want to activate if you can.
Okay, we're going to see a lot of cards go down, and all of a sudden, Fi's going to be right there into the mix with 2 as well, with a wild. Got to get to yellow, and now Pickle can't get any of that luck that she needed.
Uno.
Dottie goes
Dottie,
Uno.
okay.
And it's yellow. That means if it goes yellow before Dottie, Dottie will win regardless of the fact that Fi is on Uno right now because they're both on yellow. It goes yellow. We go for the reverse. It's going to set up Fi.
Reverse, yeah.
You're going to double reverse and a skip.
Yeah.
It's still going to be Fi. If we skip here, it is Fi.
Wow.
It's a skip. Fi gets the win. Group D is not done, folks. Talk about everything you can get in Uno Mobile. We have every single player on 2 wins. If you win, you're going to the next round. And if you lose, it depends on this crazy 4 or now 3-way tiebreaker pending whoever wins it all. What a way to end our group stages here shortly. One more game to be played no matter what. This is ridiculous.
Wow, that's crazy. It's so rare. It's almost just as rare to see these distance games as the 3 sweeps that we see as well. So what a treat for us to go all the way. Every player here a chance to close it out in that first place spot.
Okay, here are the stakes, folks. A very quick rundown because this game can go very quick. Dottie and Fi have to win if they want to go to the finals. Period. End of sentence. They are the lowest 2 on their score, so they're not winning any tiebreakers. You gotta do it. Pickle is in the best spot right now. If anybody wins, aside from Pickle, Pickle is moving on. So the same thing goes for Coco Chanel, all right? Everybody needs some wins. You can't afford to go to a tiebreaker if you're pretty much anybody besides Pickle. Pickle is in the best spot right now. Pickle might just take it by themselves, though. They don't need to rely on a tiebreaker. Why not just change it to red and hope nobody can play? Because of that, does look like Coco Chanel's going to have to answer back and go yellow.
We'll see what Fi does. Fi with the plus. adds a couple onto Pickle. Does still have, some discard alls, but things looking good for Coco here, maybe to close it out. Dottie and Fi, you're not going to want that to happen.
Here we go.
Can you even stop it? You can't really stop it.
I don't know that you can do anything.
No.
I mean, if you go red here, Pickle could reverse. That's the only thing we could do. Unfortunately, +4 goes down. Coco Chanel is going to be your winner of this group. What a wild circumstance. Maximum amount of games played, 9 games played, and Coco Chanel takes it all in the final round. You're going to be seeing Coco go to the next round, and like I said before, Pickle, because of those gigantic wins you got, had the highest score, and because of it, Pickle will also be moving on. What a way to finish the group stages. We told you it was going to be crazy competition in this semifinals. And I gotta say, Group D did not even kind of disappoint. It quite literally couldn't have gone any longer for Group D, which is nuts. So let's take a look back on, well, all of the 9 wins we got across the board here, Katie, and talk about some of our favorites.
And what I love about this is it just reaffirms why Uno Mobile is so fun, Gojj, is that you can always make the comeback, right? You might have seen 8 rounds played and you lost all of them, but you can still get more, right? You can get more, you can make that comeback, you can get it done. So this was a super exciting group to watch play.
Yeah, and some really key moments here on, like, looking back, you're like, oh, I could have done this. But of course, they can't see each other's cards, so you just got to make a decision. Big challenges, by the way, here from Coco Chanel to stay into the mix. But this moment here, it was just kind of, that's the only thing Dottie could do. That's such a cerebral Uno Mobile play, is like, I got to play this and I got to get challenged and I got to draw the cards so that Fi can't play if I know Fi has a blue. Still gets the win there from Fi to keep it going. And then looking back, everybody's got a yellow. And because of the reverse, then the skip, Fi grabs this one as well. What a crazy moment. And then our final win in this stage, Group D, definitely didn't disappoint, and Coco Chanel takes it all. Here's a quick look at those scores, by the way. What were we talking about scores? Yeah, Pickle had a ton of points between 2, an average of 253 points in the 2 wins that they had. It means they will be moving on, and it frankly wasn't all that close. I gotta say, though, for players that don't make it to the next round, like a Dottie and a Fi, both incredibly talented, some really crazy moments for both of them as well. So I'll tip my hat to both of you. Unfortunately, you are done for the day, which means, folks, Katie, we've got our 8 players that are going to be moving on to the annual finals and now get to play against each other to see who's going to be walking away with their share of $10,000. This is a really big moment. I'm sure they're already celebrating, but there's still more to celebrate because we've got a lot of money on the line.
A lot of money, glory, the opportunity for more games down the line, more events down the line, and they got to be feeling pretty good, right? A lot of those initial groups were a bit of a gauntlet, but they were able to persevere, ascend into the semis, and I'm super excited to see these next 2 groups duke it out before the finals. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, semifinals of the semifinals right around the corner. Folks, we're going to head to a very short break, but you're going to want to pay attention because we've got some gift codes and some things coming your way, and maybe some more trivia that you might find some answers to in this break. So take a look, and we'll catch you in just a little bit.
2024 is here, and the Uno Mobile Community Cup is back with a whole year of competition. And we are going bigger with $50,000 total in prizing and open to even more countries than before with players from US, Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. For 2024's competition, we have split the year in half. The first half starts in March and ends in June, with the top players from each month making the first semifinal live show in July. The second half begins in July as well and ends in October, with the top players from these months playing in our second semifinal live show in November. Each semifinal live show will have a prize pool of $10,000 awarded to the top 4 players. The top 8 from each semifinals will make the final tournament in January of 2025 to end the year of competition and celebrate Uno Mobile's 6-year anniversary with an even bigger grand finale. A prize pool of $30,000.
Drops the yeehaw!
Nice challenge from Maria. Dusty's looking so strong. Oh, the reverse. Lane Boy goes to Uno here.
Looks like he might have an opportunity here and stays from the one.
Will you be the next Uno Mobile esports star? Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Community Cup monthly qualifiers to work your way through bronze, silver, gold, and diamond cups to make the monthly finals. The bronze cups will take place at the start of each month, giving you a chance to begin your journey from the 1st through the 8th and make it through the qualifiers by the 10th of each month. Join us March 1st to become the next Uno Mobile esports star.
Uno! Reverse! Uno! Uno! Skip. Blue. Draw card. Uno! Reverse.
More friends, more rewards. Earn coins, diamonds, and an exclusive medal by inviting friends to Uno Mobile. In the events section, you can find Invite Friends. You can also go to Friends and click the Invite Friends button. For each new friend you invite, both of you will get 500 coins. Extra bonuses include 300 coins for the second friend, 500 for the fourth, and 1000 coins and an exclusive medal for the 10th. For example, if you invite 4 friends, you'll get 2,800 coins in total, and each friend will get 500 coins. Invite more friends for even more rewards.
Uno!
Hey folks, welcome back to the Uno Mobile Community Cup. This is the 2024 semifinals, the second half of the year. These competitors are fierce. I gotta say, we've had an incredible quarterfinals thus far, but we're moving into the semifinals of this semifinals. The 8 players have secured their spot in the annual finals, but there's still a lot of money on the line that they get to play for. Before we get into the competition, folks, I have to remind you of a couple things, and we've got some of your favorite gift codes right around the corner. One, you gotta download Uno Mobile. If you're loving all of this action, it's free right now in the iOS or Android Google Play Store. Go get your hands on the game. Maybe we'll see you in one of these competitions down the line. It certainly could be possible, especially if you're one of you. I see the people in there critiquing gameplay. You know, you can see all the cards, right? All right, that's my job. I get to critique gameplay, even though I see everything. All right, so go download the game and see if you can prove me wrong that you're the best player here, and make sure to go follow Uno Mobile on all major socials. We're live all over the place. Drop a follow if you're watching the broadcast, but also I need to say this now, you got to join the Uno Mobile Discord. There's a lot going on in Discord that you want to be a part of. They've got Discord specific even competitions you could play in as well. So go join the Discord. That link's all going to be down below if you're on YouTube. Moderators can help you out as well. Now, folks, I have a very special announcement about something that you're going to like, especially if you're one of the most advanced Uno Mobile players out there. Folks, Crown Royale is almost here, a brand new competition right around the corner. This is the most advanced tournament for the top Uno Mobile players. Only players with the Ring Royale medal will be invited to compete. Now, here's how it works. After the game update on November 25th, you can participate in Ring Royale to get the Crown Royale weekly tickets. The Crown Royale weekly contest will then open up on that big date you see at the bottom, December 7th. So try your best to get the Ring Royale medal so that you can get involved. That's the only way you can play in the Crown Royale, but this is where you get to prove that you are the best player in the game. Anybody can play Ring Royale, but you got to get invited to play Crown Royale. This is a really big competition you're gonna want to be a part of, and I want you to prove it to me, prove it to yourself that you're one of the best players in the game by getting involved in Crown Royale. You got to get your Ring Royale medal in order to play, all right? Really pumped about this competition and seeing what you guys are able to do after the update, which is 25th, and then it opens. Crown Royale opens December 7th. Feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to answer them, but that's a massive update for those fans of sweaty competition, like a lot of you are in chat. Let's bring back Katie. Let's talk about the sweaty competition that we're about to watch, because Katie, we've had an incredible quarterfinals thus far, like we mentioned, but the semifinals right around the corner, and this is how you prove that you're one of the best players in the game, period, and a chance at 10K, which is crazy.
Look, just don't lose. That's my advice.
Words.
Expert level. Thank you. I'm actually here to provide in-depth analysis on all things Uno Mobile. So just don't lose. Get top 2. Cruise into the grand finals. And you know what, Gojj? What's most important? Have a fun time. That's something I've learned from so many of the interviews we've done with winners of these events, is how much fun they've had playing Uno Mobile and competing in these tournaments.
Well, speaking of fun, it's time for the players at home to play a little game with us. Let's take a look at the next trivia question we have today. What tournament is scheduled for release in December? Folks, are you paying attention? That's what this question's about. A, Ring Royale, B, Diamond Royale, C, Crown Royale, or D, Ruby Royale. Which one is it? Were you paying attention in that last segment, folks? A, Ring Royale, B, Diamond. It's not Ring Royale. That's already been out, all right? You've already had a chance to play that, chance to play more of it. Is it B, Diamond Royale? C, Crown Royale? It's not Ruby Royale. So down to the final 2. Are you typing in B or are you typing in C? And I'm going to be honest, if you're getting this one wrong, you're not paying attention, all right? Crown Royale, December 7th is when it fully launches. Huge win that we get Crown Royale into the mix here for Uno Mobile, especially for those really talented players. And, well, if you got it right or wrong, don't worry. It's time for another gift code. We're going to reward you regardless. Here's your next one. Head to your settings in the Uno Mobile app. That's where you type it in. Down at the bottom is going to be a gift code. You click redeem, and you type in vote for champion. You're going to be voting throughout the course of the next semifinals and the finals to see who you think is going to win it all. Vote for champion is your next code. And guess what? 600 coins, 10 diamonds, and a 4x shield are rewards ramping up slowly but surely. We got a couple more gift codes down the line, but go get your rewards now. It is a limited amount of people that can redeem it, so redeem it as soon as possible, folks. Big wins here in the booth, Katie, and big wins from a lot of folks that played in the quarterfinals. Some really big moments. I'd love for you to break down some of the replays looking back on our quarterfinals and what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, it was really groups A and D that went the distance, and groups B and C that were sort of lightning fast. And you had some of the standouts. Lenny here from Group A able to close it out, but it was not comfortable. It looked to be comfortable at first, Gojj, but things got a little out of hand pretty quickly.
Yeah, again, Group A went almost the distance. 8 total games played out of the 9 possible. And then, like you said, lightning fast. Here, look at this. Group B and Group C was crazy, but Pickle dominated the competition as well with some incredible point totals to make sure that they were able to move on. But it was actually these wild moments looking back that I think I will remember the most of. We had 3 winners on 2, and then Fi had 0 wins, and then 1-2 back-to-back to take us to the very end. And it ends up in some of these moments here, you look back on and say, what could I have done differently? Was there a way to change it? I don't know. But there's Fi's second win. And so this next replay, this is where it all finished finally. The last possible game. Coco Chanel takes it all. Pickle also moving on. So here is a look one more time at our bracket before we get into the mix, Katie. big wins across the board. But now, yes, you've made the annual finals. You celebrated, but now's the time to win a portion of that $10,000. So let's take a look here with our two groups here. We've got our top semifinals, our bottom semifinals, looking for the top two from each to make it to the finals. So we're going to start here with Lenny. And Katie, I guess the question is, are you sticking with Lenny or are you going with Pickle, who's also in this group?
Hear me out. Lenny and Pickle.
Sure.
The top two from each group advance.
You know what, Katie? That is big brain right there. That's
I have
really
selected
smart.
50% of the group.
That's true.
On. Thank you.
That's a big win. I don't know. Keurig really was so dominant in their group. I could really see Keurig continuing that momentum going forward. But the fun part is they're playing brand new people, right? And so because of that, you never know what could happen. It could look totally different from your group stages, and frankly, it probably will. So you need a lot of skill and a little bit of luck on your side, and you're likely moving on to the finals here. But it's time for our very first semis of the day, the semifinals of the semifinals. A big moment because everybody that makes the finals today, going into this next round, is going to be walking away with at least a little bit of cash. So big moment to see who our top two is in our first semis.
And here we go. A lot of folks with stacks of the same colors. Not a lot of red to go around, but hoping maybe if you're Pickle to get it to green.
Reverse.
Also, wow, Chase, if they could get a yellow discard all, that would be huge. A sprinkling of wilds, just 1+4, but this is where nerves can kick in too, I feel like, Gojj, because the idea of, huge. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Pickle, okay.
I think a lot of people are nervous. I think Pickle is not nervous at all. Not right now. Not when you've got a +4 in your pocket. A huge boon for that to swap over to green. And because of it, Pickle says, how about a 4-card discard all and a win? Oh, yeah, sure. I'll give 6 cards to Chase. That's even a better win for me. Massive victory from Pickle to start things off. Katie, you might be the smartest analyst there is.
Thanks. I get told that a lot. I appreciate it.
Not by me. That's the first time I've ever said that in my life. But big win from Pickle. Gonna set you up for success. Again, the key here, folks, top two. You figured out the deal. You know the rules. But if you just make it to finals, you're making some cash. 10K all separated in that final group. So a big moment right now to make some money here on main stage. But they all have a chance to make some money in the annual finals because they've already made it there. So there's a lot going on, Katie, and I'm loving it.
I love it, right? It's the opportunity, it's the excitement, it's that anticipation of how far can you go in this tournament. You've already booked your ticket to an event later on, but you want to come out of this being first place, saying that you survived the gauntlet and came out on top. So I know all of these players perfectly capable of winning the whole thing, but they do have to survive their semi first. And so far, so good. I think at least Chase, again, in a similar position to what Pickle was in last round with that discard all.
Yeah, in a perfect rotation of play right now. Look at Pickle, look at Lenny, both with a +4 wild, but they can't hurt Chase because Keurig can't answer as well. Well, I spoke too soon. My bad. A reverse from Lenny means all of a sudden Chase is in trouble. A +4 coming in, and it's going to go to blue. Chase, unfortunately, my friend, what are you going to do? You're just going to have to draw. That is a tough luck and not a great draw, frankly, especially with the modality of play, and we're on blue right now. This is got to be frustrating for Chase when you were on Uno already.
Green.
Wow, and then you're going to get that skip. We'll see what happens. Do you decide to throw down the +4? Well, that's really your only option unless you want to pull. And unfortunately, Pickle going to be on the receiving end of that. Do you decide to challenge? No, I think a smart move there. But Keurig, an opportunity as we swing back over a forced draw again, but
just
discard also. Oh, wait, and Lenny!
Just handed a win to Lenny. Of course, didn't know that Lenny with a red in their hand and a reverse means...
So you're saying Lenny and Pickle goes.
Wow.
Is what you're saying.
I've already given you your credits. I can't give you any more. I've exceeded my limit on applauding
There's a lot of games to be played. Okay.
Folks, if you want to be like Katie and predict all of the winners today, head over to the YouTube chat and vote in that poll because Lenny and Pickle are out on top early. But we know what can happen. We could see every single player with 2 wins. We've already seen it once today. It can absolutely happen again. So let's pop into it and see if Lenny can maybe close things out very quickly, or Pickle, the only 2 players with wins. And frankly, Pickle's win quite sizable. 219 points is a great game. So looking pretty strong right now, but a lot of Uno to be played in the semifinals.
I couldn't agree more. I think that 219 is good, but it's not, I feel like I'm in a comfort zone. Good, right? If it was 300 and plus, maybe that'd be different. But I think chooses to avoid the skip, does send things right back over to Pickle, and another skip comes out. Skip again. Kirik, do you throw down the +4? And
wow.
Chase going to be on the receiving end of that.
So Kirik all reds, looking to play a little dotty play here, trying to pull maybe a discard all off top deck. Pickle set up yet again with a nice 4 green discard all if it can get there. So Pickle's going to say, let me see if I can bait it. Let's get to yellow. Unfortunately, Lenny has to change the color. Just really can't go red here.
Blue.
Goes for the blue, which this is nice, and it's also actually going to set up Pickle really well, though, because Chase is going to play. Pickle will play.
Uno.
Pickle goes to Uno. Uh-oh. Cards on the table, folks. We got not a lot of Uno left in this one.
Wow, and that's going to swing over. Pickle is going to have to draw. And not the worst, not the best. Certainly would have loved to stay on Uno. So opportunities here. Not over just yet with a minute 30 left.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go quick, but all of a sudden, this could be a long one. Kirik drew a +4 wild off top deck and smartly didn't play it, holding it for the last minute or so. But here we go, with not a lot of yellows, now choosing to burn it. And full bait here with green. This is a big, big bluff. Chase gets punished for the challenge. But frankly, when there's a minute or so left, you actually want more cards to see if you can draw some discard alls so you can get into the mix. Kirik's still fishing for a discard.
Wow.
Can't get anything going. This is tough. This could go down to the wire. We could see an in time here.
Well, at least you can get rid of some of that. Pickle just trying to stay afloat, but no one with an opportunity to clearly and decisively close things out. But with 45 seconds left, you got to start getting rid of some of these cards. And Walt Pickle getting skipped left and right. We'll see if a reverse comes in. That's exactly what happens. And maybe time to play that +2 Pickle on Uno.
Yeah, that was a big move as well, so that Lenny doesn't get hit with the +2. Unfortunately, Kirik also had one. Pickle having to draw here. These draws are everything. Look at their point totals right now. Kirik and Pickle are technically tied at 15 points apiece right now. You got to have the lowest number to win. We all know it. The question is, how long will it take for you to get to play your card? Pickle to Uno with a discard all from Chase. Chase not going to be far behind them. 11 points on his side. Sorry, make it 15. But we've got to get Pickle to draw a card. They need more than 5 seconds on the clock, which they do. Pickle has to draw here. It all comes out of the draw and draws a 7. Pickle draws it. Pickle could win.
Wow, though.
Wait, Kirik, 5 points with the 0. It snuck around fast enough to get to Kirik, and Kirik didn't have to draw, which means Kirik gets the win by 2 points. Woo! That was a crazy draw from Pickle. It still wasn't enough, though. And my choice, Kirik, comes out on top and now joins the winner's circle.
All right, things are getting mixy. And I mean, at one point, Pickle had 7 points and Kirik had 8. And because it stayed on blue, Kirik had that chance to play one more card. I think put down that 3 to get it to that 5. And then there just wasn't enough time for a comeback there. So really clutch play out of Kirik at the end to get on the board.
All right, I gotta take a deep breath. That was stressful. Yeah, whenever it goes to time, I mean, my heart rate's got to go over 100 or something. I mean, this is nuts. But locking back in here, Kirik again. I mean, 3 cards +4 wild can be incredibly patient here, especially if you get down to 2. This is a big win that Chase unfortunately can't quite match, but you're gonna have to burn it.
Oh no, Pickle, no!
Yeah. Pickle's gonna have to draw and had to burn the +4. That's kind of great for everybody besides Kirik, frankly.
Blue.
As long as you can keep it off green.
Draw card.
We'll have to see. I mean, if you're lucky, maybe you get some discard alls, but Pickle out of the running for the time being. But Kirik, can you get a lucky top deck? The answer, no. Neither for Chase, but at least one discard all for Pickle. We'll see if you can get a red one. But Lenny in a great spot to be 1 win away. Stays on blue, but just at the last second. Oh, and a 4. Lenny, wow. Clutch top deck draw.
Yeah, Lenny in the best spot, and there's a giant drop from Pickle, so Pickle's still into the mix. Another one.
Lenny!
A wild play. Do you show your hand, or do you bluff here?
Blue.
Going to show the hand and say, keep it blue, everybody. And we'll see if anybody thinks it might be a bluff. And go for it. Now, Chase also on Uno, so you got to be careful. And it looks like Pickle thought it was a bluff. Couldn't really do anything else anyways. And we see Lenny, the first to 2 wins. We're not done in the first semifinals, but we could be right near the finish line if Lenny can grab another one.
Well, last time Lenny was at that 2, we saw it almost go the distance, right? It ended up going to 7 before they were able to close it out. So I think Lenny this time doesn't want that to happen, right? Close it out, with 3. But we'll have to see what happens because this is the moment for Lenny to shine, go big or go home. But, you know, at least Chase has to be fiending for a win. Doesn't have one yet, and some decent cards.
Yeah, Chase has got time, and just not a ton if Lenny starts looking like they're going to win this one. YouTube chat, by the way, over 200 votes. Lenny technically top choice right now, so it's smart YouTube chat as Lenny takes the lead. And we'll see if they end up being correct.
Green.
Okay. Decent
Green, not ideal for Lenny, but do you use this or do you pull?
I think you just go red and hope it
Yeah.
stays. Especially looking at the cards right now. Look at that. Chase actually might give Lenny the win. This could be it. Pickle with a crazy top deck. That might have just saved this game because we're going to get into a +4 and go green. Drawing a +2 there completely saved the game. Any other red, and we see Lenny win because Chase is going to skip over to Lenny. That was a wild moment, and all of a sudden, Lenny might not win this one because of it. Will go to Uno, but wow, what a sequence of events. But if Pickle goes blue here, we still could see a Lenny win, albeit a hair more delayed than I thought.
I mean, but if you're Pickle, you're going to be happy with that. The challenge fails. We'll have to see what does Keurig do here. I mean, you really
got a +2.
You have to play the +2, and Lenny's so close.
Wow.
Not able to close it out. Pickled now on Uno.
How in the world has Lenny not won? Now Pickle we have to change it, and yeah, perfect. We go to red. Okay, cool. We're still in it with 3, but Lenny's cards aren't great. A little bit of defense there with the +2, but the discard all gives him literally nothing to play with. Pickle yet again stacking back to potentially look at a 4-card discard all blue.
Oh wow, that discard would have been huge.
Yeah, this is brutal to watch. Now a couple discard alls. I think you go yellow here. I don't think you can afford to go green. You've got to save a +2 for the end game, in my opinion, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm analyzing everybody else's cards too much.
No, agreed. I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with the amount of greens that are on the board here. Pickle is pulling every blue except the one that they really need.
Reverse.
Able to reverse that.
We got to get it off blue. Pickles could take it all here if it stays.
There's 35 seconds left, and oh, wow, just down to 2 points for Pickle.
Uh-oh. Do you play it if you're Keurig? You have to.
Go.
30 seconds. That is brutal. Now it's going to go yellow. That only helps Keurig. So this is a big boon. We are running out of time, though, and Keurig has some action cards he's got to get rid of. Got to play the reverse. You can't afford not to. Try to make a play for the points. A good one. Keurig's still not in the running yet, but very, very close. +2 goes out. Uh-oh. Keurig probably out of it. Pickle and Lenny. Pickle, I think, is going to take this one. We got to get action cards out of our hands. Chase is able to throw it down, +2. Chase is going to get the win. Wait! Lenny! Lenny at the end! It's all over, folks! The +2 goes down. Chase thought it was over. Chase thought he had the win. Everybody plays fast enough. Lenny has 1 second and is able to play the discard all. Reminder, action cards cost 20, so discard all goes down and a card with value goes down with it, a 5 or a 6 or something like it. All of a sudden, Lenny barely skates in to grab the 3rd and final victory he needed to win it all in this semifinals. What a I mean, that was the craziest for sure ending. We've got a lot of photo finishes, but that one was absolutely nuts. I'm really excited to look back on the replay of that one.
And I mean, usually we see a discard all as a playmaker that ends the game, and Lenny did it in a different fashion. Still had cards left, but that 3 discard all, huge to securing things and proving my amazing prediction.
You did
Correct.
call it. You called it. Chat called it. Everybody called it. There's that moment. Look at that. On the timeout, was able to throw the cards down and take his score down to 13 to beat out Chase by a couple. What a crazy photo finish. And as we mentioned a moment ago, Lenny and Pickle both moving on to the finals, both walking out of here with at least a little bit of cash, if not a lot of cash in their pockets. 3 wins for Lenny, which means Lenny and Pickle moving on to the grand finals. Keurig, you were dang close. Unfortunately, just not strong enough of a win to put you through. What a photo finish. Now, folks, if you're a fan of Keurig and Chase, one more time, a reminder, the annual final. I'm going to talk about it near the end of the show. The big annual final, a lot of money on the line, a little bit later in the competitive year, if we'll call it that. You will see Chase, you will see Keurig in that final. they're just not making it into the finals today and not walking away with any cash today. So unfortunate for them, but big ups if you're a fan of Pickle to be able to squeak in there as Lenny just crushes the competition extremely quickly in our first semifinals. So, whew, all right, that was wild. Now, Katie, we got to talk about what's going to be happening next because I don't know. That first semifinals was nuts, but we've got a whole nother semifinals to see who else will be joining Lenny and Pickle in the grand finals.
I know. Tez, Coco, JC, and Yaya, they've got to get it done here. I mean, they just saw how semifinal A played out, and I know that they are eager. I feel like they got to be excited. They want to jump into the game here and get things going quick so that they can book their tickets to the final.
Yeah, and yet again, by the way, Katie, not only were you perfectly correct, but YouTube chat, Lenny was picked, so very well done picking the winner yet again. Lenny, the top seed going into today, the first winner in our second half of the year, and has made it all the way to the finals. Could just be seed number 1 and win it all. It's certainly possible. But into semifinals 2, folks. Coco, Chanel, JC, 83, Yaya, and Tez are back. We're going to have a poll up shortly for you to take a vote as well. So keep your eyes peeled on the YouTube chat. When you see it, vote for who you think's going to take it. A brand new semifinals, brand new players.
Draw cards.
Here we go. I mean, not a great start for Tez, but still plenty of time to try and make a comeback. A discard all blue would be very useful here, but still a lot of games to be played. I feel like Gojj, everyone wants to win off the bat, but it has to be at least a decent peace of mind to know that there's still a multitude of wins someone else has to get. You have a lot of opportunities to make comebacks here if round 1 doesn't go your way.
Yeah, we were stressed and maybe coming in, high intensities. These players have been waiting a little bit. So they're coming in. Maybe they got a little bit of nerves for sure, but they're coming in ready to play and certainly not feeling rushed, I think, at this point. So let's see what happens. Yaya is going to go red here, which is a fun move because that means Tez is going to have to burn some more wilds.
Blue.
Luckily, he's got a couple of those. So back to blue we go.
Back to blue. JC.
Whoa.
Wow, the only one, not only with 1, but just pulls 2 and says, you know what? Might as well use it as quickly as I got it.
Draw 4.
Yeah, not going to have an answer for that, unfortunately.
That was the perfect top deck draw. As per the usual,
Blue.
JC, a really strong player and will play patient. Right there, minute 40 to go. Doesn't play the +4 and gets rewarded for it by drawing 1. A big move that might pay off. And because of it, JC has the defense. Yaya gonna have to draw 8. JC still on 4. A big move pays off from JC.
That's so unfortunate. Yaya is like, yeah, discard all. I'm back in it. Never mind.
Yeah, that's tough. And now with 60 seconds left, we have to at least glance at the top left-hand corner of our screen at the clock. JC in a poised, perfect position to win it all here, as long as no discard alls are played. Here we go. Need a good draw, though. Only 2 points.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah, that'll work. Unfortunately, that does put Coco Chanel on Uno. Yes, it's an action card, which means JC's in the lead. But if it stays yellow, which it might, Coco will take map 1. It looks like the first round going to Coco. JC goes down, feeling good. Unfortunately, a yellow lying in wait. Coco Chanel, welcome. First one to the winner's circle. First win on the board in the semifinals. Definitely feeling comfortable now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you saw the moment that yellow was played. Coco Chanel got to be like, thank you. Don't mind if I do. That's going to be a great end to the first game. And I liked it because it didn't feel like there was a likeliest winner at that point. We saw the 2+4 wilds, but as we saw, that doesn't always guarantee you a win.
That's true. Absolutely. It did put JC in a really good spot, but Coco Chanel just got the better end of the draw there. But to new 1 we go, and JC yet again with 2+4 wilds in a really good position. You can see the +4 wilds are actually split across the table, so there won't be any strings of massive draws likely, unless we see a couple +2s come through for Yaya or Coco Chanel.
See, the greens should carry all the way over. None of those wilds used, but a skip does come in. Is this where we see maybe one of the first +4s, perhaps?
Blue.
How about a basic wild to keep things spicy?
What's wrong with a basic wild? You know?
2+4 wilds on the side of JC. Nice hand right now if we can get back to blue. And Tez is going to hold on to his as well. We're only 60 seconds in or so no rush. JC, what are you going to do? He's got to think about it. Hold on to both. No, gonna go ahead and burn 1. Probably hoping to start some string of attack here so that multiple +4s are played. Unfortunately, Gojj doesn't have one, so we continue on our merry way. But to blue we go, which is huge for JC. JC could win it all very, very quickly, especially with a couple skips or otherwise. But no, to red, everything's changing. You never know what could happen.
Wow, and that's unfortunate for Coco too. Like, you're just hoping maybe a skip was used there, but not the case. JC perfectly happy to go ahead and actually use that +4. Yeah, gonna be on the receiving end of it, but can you keep it blue? There's a little bit of a bait switching it to green, which if you're Coco, you wanted to stay there because that'll be a nice discard, which is exactly what happened.
This bluff what a draw! Oh,
wow!
Can't go back to green, you know that. So to blue, no more bluffing. That was everything. Tez was winning likely if you don't change it there. The bluff almost came back to bite you, but instead, with insane top deck luck, JC83 grabs a victory. What a wild sequence of events, by the way. A bluff, you almost give the game away because the bluff cards you had is what Tez across the table from you had and was going to win it all. So then you have to draw because you bluffed, and you draw a +4 wild, put it on the color you need, and bang, you win the game. Woo, all right. Again, a lot of skill is needed to win, but a little bit of luck certainly needed as well. And JC got a little bit of both.
Let's see if the luck keeps up for JC and Coco Chanel, because one of them a chance here to put it on match point with 2 wins, but a flurry of activity. No one is taking any time to think. They are just throwing down cards.
And that puts Coco Chanel the first to 3 cards. So JC will follow with a +4 wild yet again and elects to keep it green, which is great news for Coco. Look at the cards here right now. JC's feeling really comfortable. The problem is, take a little bit of a, it doesn't look like Coco can play, so that worked out. You're continuing to think, what do I do now? Because as we play our +4s, great news for everybody else aside from Coco, because JC could have won with a +4 wild as their final card. This will force JC to play, still goes to Uno, and make Coco draw 12 cards.
Makes Coco draw 12, and if you can somehow get it back to red, this could be a lightning fast 2 wins in a row for JC. But a skip, being the only red Yaya had, is a big moment for sure, and that'll allow it to go to yellow now, puts Yaya on Uno. JC feeling good for a moment, but it doesn't matter. Actually, the 3. I wasn't even looking at the fact that it was the 3, Gojj, and JC frustrated for just a moment, but said, let's bring it back from the brink. What a win.
Gee Louise, that was crazy. Again, JC, a lot of skill, my friend. A perfect play with the +4, avoids the massive stack, has 1 final card, but a little bit of luck. The only other card the other person could have played was a 3, and you had it. Congrats, my friend. That's 2 wins, but job's not done, like we've been saying, but you are nearing the finish line. If JC wins here, look at his cards at the bottom. If JC wins here, it's all over very quickly, just like the other semifinals. I will say, YouTube chat, they said Coco Chanel. We might still see Coco Chanel go to the finals if JC closes out really quickly. Finally, we leave green, which means JC can't get a free win.
Can't get a free win, can't even get a turn because the skip's coming in just as fast. And wow, these cards are flying out of these players' hands. We're barely 40 seconds in and already, JC, you don't want to, oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, there's a lot of, there's luck that can go your way, but you can't always have good luck. And unfortunately, one of the biggest draws of the day, we're going to see a +16 head over to JC83. Probably won't be seeing him clean this one up in a very quick fashion, but you never know, especially as it goes to blue. Nobody can do anything. I think Tez just wins here unless we see a crazy top deck draw from Coco. Nope, that's a Tez win. Woo! And that's a big one, too, with all the cards JC83 just drew.
Yeah, that's got to feel great for Tez. You're on the board. Things are within reach now. I mean, if you're JC, that's a tough way to go, a +16. But you already have 2 wins under your belt. So now we have to see, can you get on the board and maybe see Semi B go the distance?
All right. So now as we move into the next round, reminder, again, if JC wins, it's all over. But now we have 2 players on 1 win apiece. So at the bottom of our screen, when we hop back into the game, you can see their scores and see who would win that tiebreaker if JC wins. Again, if you make the finals today, you're making at least some cash. So you got to make it there. First, second, it doesn't matter. You just got to be top 2. So a quick look here. Tez now at the bottom of your screen. Coco, Chanel, Tez,
Ooh.
of course, want another win. They can't let JC win, especially if you're Coco or Yaya. You're not making it if JC 83 wins.
Wow, and that's so many greens. Coco able to at least do the skip, and that's a huge discard all for Tez. And unless something drastic happens, Coco just says, you know what, I'll hand the win right over to Tez. Here's 1, here's 2. And suddenly it's JC and Tez with 2 wins on the board. Wow, Coco, ooh, that's got to sting.
Whoa, alrighty. That one was quick. I didn't even see how fast it was, but I think that might have been the fastest win of the day.
Yeah.
That was a moment, if you look back on that play, that was a moment that we don't often see where a player has a wild card as their final card and they probably don't win. If we don't see that reverse, there was a +4 wild coming Tez's way and he couldn't do anything about it. But because of the reverse, Tez is able to quickly grab a win. So now, obviously, 2 players on 2 wins. Tez wins, JC wins, we're done. Coco, Chanel, Yaya, you got to grab a win. You got to grab a win right this second. We are nearing this finish line. We are right around the corner from the victory.
And Tez chooses not to do the +4, holding on to it for the time being, but you got to get it off green because these top decks not really working in Tez's favor. But hey, I mean, you'll take a swing over to red. Discard all would have been nice, but the skips, Tez and JC, they're going to want to help. They're skipping right back to each other. Oh, wow.
Oh, my
Look
goodness.
at that.
This is a huge boon for them. Again, doesn't matter which of them wins going into the next round. They just both want to make it. So do you burn it? No, another top deck into red here is a nice boon, but watch out for Coco Chanel. If it goes blue at all, and now that's going to go back to all the way to Yaya for 12. It all depends on JC. Are you going to bluff your color when somebody is on Uno? That is the question. Here we go. What color are you choosing, JC? A bluff? No, somebody's on Uno. You can't risk it. I like the play. Goes to Uno himself. +12. Somebody's got to change it from red or JC wins. And right now, bang! A great call from JC. Elite level Uno player right there. JC, congratulations. You're moving on to the finals, my friend. The big brain plays from JC is what, obviously a little bit of luck in some other games. That one right there, you've got to know when to bluff and you've got to know when to play your color. And when a couple people ahead of you, the only 2 people that can play because the other person's drawing cards have 2 and 1 cards respectively, you know they're probably not able to change the color, so you cannot bluff there. Perfect play from JC and a perfect win to close things out in our bottom of our semifinals. We now have our 4 finals players, and I am so excited to get into this. But first, we got to take a look back on the replays from that one because it was crazy exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Tez really had some great moments back-to-back to secure those wins in, but it started and ended with JC, and for good reason. You said it, Gojj, right? Just really high-level, big brain plays, and a willingness to both be patient and take the opportunity when they saw it.
Yeah, and there was a moment there I thought Tez maybe would sneak a full victory. Now, Tez, of course, also moving on. And these are the big moments for Tez, right? Look at this reverse coming in. Yaya would have punished them with that +4, but because of the reverse, Tez gets into the winner's circle and makes the finals. There's the final moment from JC. A perfect play. JC, Tez, both moving on to the next round, the final round of the day. And this round, there's a lot on the line, Katie. We've got $10,000 staring at these 4 grand finals players. This is, I'm so pumped to see who can take it all. Reminder too, we got to talk about seeds coming into this. Specifically Lenny, right? The winner of the July monthly final. Lenny, the top seed technically of the day, the #1 seed, makes it to the grand finals. Could win it by the book here and take it all after being the top seed. You then look at Pickle. Pickle was 4th seed in the July, the same monthly finals, by the way. So you see 2 of the same month in the grand finals. It's a nice boon if you're a July fan, but I don't know. It's fun because you get the kind of underdog story of Pickle, and then you have the kind of a by the book top seed making it to the finals. Could see it go to the book and see Lenny win it all. Woo! All right. Lots to break down, but I know the folks at home are talking about gift codes. So before I can give it to you, it's time to answer some trivia. Now, I've asked you if you've been paying attention. Let's see on this one if you know, because I haven't said this out loud on broadcast. I want to test your knowledge. When is the Community Cup 2024 annual finals? Is it December of 2024? Is it January of 2025? Is it February of 2025? Or is it March? Well, it's certainly not March. So is it going to be December, January, February, A, B, C? I want to test your knowledge. Were you paying attention at the very beginning of the show, folks? December, January, it's the annual finals. These 4 players, the 8 players that made it, are all going to be competing against each other January 2025, folks. The annual finals right around the corner. Guess what? You saw it in the video. If you're watching when we started this broadcast, there was some video content playing. They talked about it. $30,000 on the line. January of 2025, a couple months away. These 8 players will be there, and the 8 players from the last semifinals will meet them there to truly find out who the best Uno Mobile player in this competition will be. I'm really pumped about that, but all right, you heard me talk about it. A lot of money on the line for these players, not only today, but also in January. It's time for you to earn something just for being here. I got another one for you. Don't worry. Here we go. Top 4 move to the finals. And, well, we just got those top 4. So here you go. Type in this code, top the number 4, and then move to final. A big moment for you to get not only 600 coins, but 10 diamonds and a 4x shield. Now, Gojj, how do you type it in? Real simple. Click the cog wheel, the settings, top left-hand corner of your Uno mobile app. Head all the way down to gift code, click the redeem button, and then type in this code. That's all you gotta do, folks. Really easy to do. Top the number 4, and then move to final. Woo! All right, you earned something. Players are about to earn a lot. Yeah, I'm loving it. We are having a blast here with Uno Mobile in this semifinal. But Katie, it's time to talk about, as we're about to get into the game, the final 4. We're here. 10 grand on the line. $5,000 if you win it all here today, and the rest delineated down. Who are you taking? You can't pick 2 now. It's all about one single player. The underdog, Pickle, the by the book top seed, taking it. Is it Lenny? Who are you going with?
We're Team Pickle.
Team Pickle all day? Okay, I'm just calling you Pickle. Team Pickle all day, Katie. Any reasons why? You're just feeling it? You like that?
I'm just looking to my left and I see this gif of a pickle dancing, and it just makes me smile. Much like Pickle's gameplay has made me smile, so that is why I pick Pickle for the vibes.
Okay, Pickle for the vibes. Now, I was saying that you only have 2 choices because you've been touting Lenny and Pickle all day today, but we gotta remind folks of what we just saw. JC83, Tez, both brilliant game players, also an opportunity to win. Folks, we're going to have that YouTube poll up very shortly. You've got to vote on who you think will win this, because this is the last round. Let's take a look at that prize pool, by the way. It said it was $10,000. Let's look up how much money they can make. $5,000 if you win it all today. And if you get last, if you get 4th in the finals, you're still walking away with $1,000. So we said everybody would make money if they make it to the finals. We're here. They've all made some money, but how much? $5,000 if you can get first place. And I said, Katie, you said you would Pickle. I'm saying JC83. I just really like the gameplay I was seeing in the semifinals. I think that $5,000 there in the prize pool is going to JC83, but can't count out Lenny, can't count out Tez. It really could go any way. I'm going to be cheering on JC. You cheer on Pickle, and maybe YouTube chat will pick one of the others, and we'll see who's right.
I mean, they certainly are all more than talented enough to win, and I think that's what's exciting. At the end of the day, there is no outstanding favorite, and you got to feel good if you're any of these players, Gojj, because, you know, at minimum, you just made $1 grand.
That's true. I mean, you're feeling good, but like, $1 grand versus $5 grand.
You can feel like better, you know?
Yeah. That's exactly right. It's time for the finals, folks. Lock in. Here we go. The last round of Uno Mobile. First to 3 wins. It's all about the winner, and then the rest will pan out as it may. $10,000 on the line, and to start things off, it's looking like we've got Lenny at the bottom of the screen and several wilds across the board. This is one of those classic moments we see in Uno Mobile Esports where everybody has a +4 wild, and it comes down to who's going to use it first, because when you do, you're going to pay.
And Lenny actually holding on to that initial discard all, I think, likes to favor that as a way to close out the game. That +2, though, would have, not that they know, would have flushed out everyone else's +4s, including Lenny's. but that would have given us the biggest drop onto Pickle of the day. But there we go. That's exactly what happens. Oh, this is about to be...
Here we go.
I can't do math. Is this 22?
This is going to be the biggest one we've seen in this competition.
Pickle's
One of
down
the
bad.
biggest
I'm down
we've
bad, too.
ever seen. You're right. That was really good math, Katie. That's surprising
you.
from you. That's 22 cards going to Pickle, and that, I mean, that's brutal. Unless JC decides to, I can't imagine JC would take 10 cards. There's the 14. Here comes the 18 from Ted. 22. Oh, Pickle is just, I mean, this
I feel like Pickle's got to be like, surely not, right? Surely not.
This is crazy. 22, I think, ties the largest I've ever seen in competition. This is gigantic.
Oh, man.
You're not gonna be able to read these cards. Pickle, a nice try. This is woo. All right. How many discard alls did you draw? The problem is if it goes green at all, Lenny's gonna take the first win.
Oh, wow. And not just yet. Does pull a 7 and looks like, unfortunately, Pickle, I think, has at least one discard all, but said, you know what? Everyone else is getting some cards, too. If I have all of them, that's a big chunk, though. I think they might have them for red and yellow, too. I'm not sure.
A classic reverse. Gets met with a reverse this time, though. Nice defense there from Pickle. Of course, has so many cards. Why not? Let's try it out. We go to red. Now, not a lot of reds unless you're Pickle, so we skip Pickle. Can't play as we go to
Tez
blue.
in a good spot.
Tez in a great spot. The question is, do we get to green before or after Lenny? That's going to be the key difference maker as we head to red.
Skip.
And it swings on over. Going to be forced to draw a moment now. Tez not just on green to close it out, but that does potentially put JC and Tez and Lenny on an Uno, but it would get to JC first.
All right. A nice reverse back to JC because we played that last card. Don't know. A little bit risky, but you couldn't really do anything else. JC going to take their time. A nice draw off top.
Wow.
But it's got to get off discard all or Tez is going to win this thing. It's not going to. Tez should grab the victory here. No matter what Lenny does, it goes to Tez. The first game of the finals. Tez. Whoa, what a finish. It was close. It was a gigantic point total, and that could be the difference maker between a couple $100, 500, 1,000. Who knows how much the difference will be in that score, but even still, you're feeling fantastic if you're grabbing the very first win of the finals.
Yeah, I mean, that was great out of Tez, right? It came down to the wire for a lot of these players, but held on, had the faith it was going to get to that card, and it did with just enough time to throw it down and win the game. But no time to think about what has been. We have to think about what will be, and right now, all the rest of these players hoping to get on the board alongside Tez.
Here we go. Tez takes the early lead. And I guess, the question that's just ringing in the back of my mind is, are we going to see a really quick 4-game maybe finals? Or will we do what we saw in Group A, Group D, where we go to Game 8, Game 9? This is going to be close. Here we go. Ooh. Tez again in a fantastic spot if we can get to green. The problem is JC, 83, technically at about the same, maybe a hair better, pending these colors. But yellow means Pickle and Lenny are going to have a field day, which may force these +4s out from Tez and JC. I think I play here if I'm Tez. Yeah, I don't think I just rip it. The problem is JC's going to answer in kind and go blue likely and show his hand. Here we go.
Draw cards.
Unfortunate for Pickle, but we'll see what happens with this draw from Lenny. And all right. Whoa, and JC. What a
top deck.
Yeah.
First gives the win to JC. We take those. JC 83 stand up because now you're in the winner's circle, all right? That YouTube poll is cooking, over 200 votes right now. And let's take a look and see who's on top here from YouTube. Lenny technically has the majority from the YouTube poll, just barely over a couple of others. So we'll see if Lenny can step up as well. But a nice win.
I mean, not just a nice win, a phenomenal win for your pick. JC 254 is a good comfort score to be sitting on. But JC, not only that, but 2 wilds as well. Sheesh.
I know. And again, tiebreakers won't matter in terms of moving on. This is the last round, but it may matter in whether you win $1,000, $1,500, or who knows, even more than that, $2,500 going to second place. So big moments there for the tiebreakers, but we want the win. $5,000 on the line. And yeah, you're right. JC had 2. It wasn't able to get a ton of value out of the first. So we'll see JC probably play the second quite slow and actually gets it to green, which is where they want to go.
Oh, wow. Skips, 2 reverses into 3 skips. into a
Draw
rotation of
card.
+2s.
Yeah, that's the perfect storm to get everybody in a blender.
Green.
JC doesn't go patient.
Here
He
we
goes,
go.
I want to win now. Let's see if
Draw
anybody does
4.
anything about it. Only 2 people can, and Lenny has 2 cards. Unfortunately, does have a wild. It's got to change, and it will. What color do we go to, though?
I mean, Lenny last time, I think, maybe just go for the
Yellow.
red again. Doesn't, though. Does the bluff,
The bluff.
onto a yellow.
It's a little bluff, and it's not all that scary if you believe that JC should.
Oh!
Color sets up flawlessly. Pickle could have played a yellow. The
Wow.
bluff pays off.
Yeah.
YouTube chat knows what they're talking about. Lenny is the top seed for a reason, my guy. A perfect bluff and a perfect win. Into the winner's circle, and now the 3rd winner on that
Pickle.
board. And
Come on, Pickle.
uh-oh, Katie, your pick technically at the bottom right now, but still plenty more Uno Mobile to play in the
I'm
finals.
doing the pickle dance. I
that
believe.
what that is?
We're gonna,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that is, yeah.
All right. The
Look,
pickle
I'm
dance.
known for my dancing skills as well as my casting. I'm sending
Sure.
all of the good luck to Pickle.
Sure, I forgot that. I've done hundreds of events with you, and I didn't know that you were known
It's
more for your
understandable.
dancing. Okay, sure. Okay, everybody remember the pickle dance. You need to be doing that when Pickle wins it all here in several minutes.
Blue.
A lot of ground to make up, though. Here we go. Couple +4 wilds already being played, and it unfortunately doesn't look like Tez has one, so Tez
Red.
with a draw sets up Lenny and Pickle
Draw
in the
card.
power position right now to win this one, but you never know.
We'll see. Do you go with that or do you throw down the 7?
Green.
No surprise. I'm actually not surprised on that. Lenny is kind of remiss to give up some of the immediate easy cards that you might want to.
And now has a card for every color too, so it's gonna actually be easier to get to your +4 wild.
Blue.
I didn't mind the play.
Oh, yeah. I didn't either. I thought it was
Draw
just
4.
fine. JC not going to be too happy about that +4, but Lenny now the only one
Yellow.
with a +4 wild remaining. And
Wow.
you can go ahead and swing all the way around with yellow because of these discard alls.
And Tez did the same thing, by the way. Could have played the discard all. Instead elects to
Oh,
go
no.
yellow. This is going to force a +4 out from Lenny. This is a big move from Tez. Frankly, I'm not sure Tez knows how big brain it was, but this is gigantic. Lenny could have maybe walked to the finish line with
Draw
that
card.
+4.
Right.
But Tez forced it out quickly. That's a nice play. Lenny's still on 2 and in the best spot, but now with no power.
Yellow.
When it swings over to yellow, which certainly isn't ideal, but maybe a nice top deck, not meant to be. But hey, you'll take
Wow.
the 7s, and you've got 7. You can stack it onto the blue. Some
Here they
discards
come.
from JC, and
That puts Lenny down to Uno. Everybody knows Lenny doesn't have any more greens. So you're going to want to get it back to
Reverse.
that. But of course we reverse back into the discard all. That's what we always
No!
do. And because of that, Lenny
Wow.
grabs the victory. It's too tempting. You see
Wow.
somebody play a discard all. You know they don't have that color, and you can reverse right back into them with that same color. Of course you do that every time. Unfortunately, you set up Lenny perfectly. I don't know if Lenny set that up, doesn't know what the other players have, but it worked out flawlessly for Lenny. YouTube chat is on top right now as Lenny could win it all, was the #1 seed in this competition, and may be the #1 seed leaving this competition at the end of this. This is wild gameplay, and all of a sudden we could be almost done with the finals.
almost done. But as we know, it can definitely go the distance. Lenny not done just
Reverse.
yet, but you said a YouTube chat, they might be onto something. They might know something we don't. Lenny looking so strong all day, but Tez,
Reverse.
JC, and Pickle, they got here for a reason as we start hitting some of those blue reverses. But Lenny, do you play the wild to switch things up?
Yeah, I think you do.
Red.
You don't really have another option besides drawing and holding on to it, but Pickle looking for the classic tried and true
Yellow.
Pickle strat of a discard all of the same color. Burns the +4. This is going to come back to bite Lenny. So likely Lenny,
Blue.
I won't say he's out of it, but has a long road to win another win here and close things out in the grand finals. Gonna have, I think, 12 cards. So
Draw cards.
brutal.
Not ideal for sure. I mean, you do get at least 2 discards on the red and the yellow, but with JC on
Yellow.
1, that's just a bit tricky. Even if this top deck doesn't end up being a yellow, you're still in a really good spot.
We are going to see a +6 here on JC, though. Look at this combo. Tez
Oh,
with
yeah.
1 and a stack. JC picks up 6, and all of a sudden we're kind of back to square one. This is where it'll get mixy. We're
Okay.
gonna see if we go for the discard all here, Pickle again reverses
reverse.
back into it. We reverse back and set her
Reverse.
up
Oh, what?
because
Yeah.
Pickle can't play on it. So we're still there, and Lenny's getting right back into the mix.
Yeah, and I mean, Lenny, there's a possibility here, especially if you can get a discard all on the green, but that'll be huge to at least not add another color.
Okay.
Reverse.
On green, but no discard alls. A +2 Lenny can't defend against. Gets a discard all. Unfortunately, the wrong color. Uh-oh.
Uno.
This is where it gets dangerous. Look at Tez's numbers. A discard all in pocket as well. You could stay green. That would put Tez to Uno. Lenny's not taking any chances, changing it up. But actually, that's going to pay off in stride.
Oh, yeah. Get rid of a handful more of these cards.
Here we go.
Tez on Uno, and that's scary. The skip comes in, and Lenny, well...
Wow.
Yeah, wow, what a top deck. That is huge.
Okay, discard alls means we're going to go to blue. Pickle's going to pick up a couple cards here. Couple people need green. And another big top deck. 26 seconds on the clock. A nice draw. Tez needs to draw something crazy.
Wow.
Hits it. Goes to yellow here from JC, who's on 6 points. But Tez is holding one singular card, and it's worth 1 point. Needs a big draw and gets it, but it gives JC the win. JC sneaks in the final hour, 10 seconds on the clock, and snags the victory, joining Lenny on top with 2 wins. 2 players on 2. It's JC and Lenny. Katie, you were right all the way up to this point, but right now you are dead wrong. It's me and YouTube working together at the top of this leaderboard. We'll see who comes out victorious and who wins the most cash at the end of the day.
Look, at the end of the day, even if Pickle doesn't come out on top, what I am happy about, Gojj, is that we are getting treated to some phenomenal games here in the finals. Some of them are lightning fast, like we saw to Lenny, and some go down to the very final moments. So at the end of the day, even if Pickle can't get it done, it has been a ton of fun to watch these games, but we're not done yet. JC and Lenny on match and community finals point.
It's true. And a quick +10 to Pickle means Pickle not in the best spot. A discard all only for blue. But you're right. Lenny wins. JC wins. It's all over. And whoever gets that win between the two of them wins $5,000. You've got to feel the stress, the tension in the air right now from these players. This is a big, big deal. And it could come down to this one singular game. Oh, look at Tez. If it goes yellow, Tez could clutch this thing up.
Oh, wow.
He forces it yellow. Tez only on 1.
Stay yellow.
Isn't going to be all she wrote if Tez wins here. But a quick change. Plenty of wilds exchanging hands at this point. I can't imagine it goes back to yellow.
And do you play the +4 here? No, does pull.
Wow.
But Tez still on that yellow. Does it stay there, though?
Yeah, and unfortunately, with the kind of direction of play right now, JC can drop the +4 or the +2 pending color, and we do go blue, so we're going to see at least a +2. Let's see what Pickle does.
Red.
Oh, a red to change things
Red
up.
for a skip.
You're going to see a
skip to a skip.
Quick double skip and a +2. Tez still draws. And I'm pretty sure that is a win for Lenny, folks. With the +2, Lenny sets himself up perfectly for the victory. Styles on him. The winner in July, the top seed, and the winner today. No underdog stories today. Lenny is your champion of the Uno Mobile Community Cup 2024 semifinals. My guy, Lenny, wins it all. Unreal finish to an unreal competition. Huge shout out to Lenny and big congratulations. Very, very well earned. It was a hard fought battle to get here, but he was able to do it. Wow, what a finish.
Yeah, I mean, Lenny really was able to just close things out decisively there at the end. Looked great. I mean, Lenny front runner, and sometimes it doesn't always play out just because someone might be that #1 seed, but Lenny proving exactly why they were so scary to play against.
Well, let's take a quick look back at the replays from the finals. A massive, massive game with a lot on the line, and everybody gave it their all. Unfortunately, Pickle wasn't able to pick up a win, but even still, great gameplay from everybody, and it was discard alls that changed the game as per the usual. They weren't everything. It was moments like this where when you play that discard all, it doesn't always get you the win. It could get somebody else set up to take the victory, and that's what happened there for Tez. But another look back on a couple of Lenny's wins, just being in the right moment at the right time. And here are a couple of those moments here with these reverses to set up Lenny for even more victories. Really cool stuff looking back on it.
Yeah, I mean, they all played great. I think this final was one of my favorites. It was a ton of fun. There was a bunch of crazy moments throughout really the whole entire broadcast. And there you can see it. Lenny, 679 score with 3 wins. That is about as dominant as it gets.
Yeah, Lenny wins it all. JC second place, still a nice chunk of change going to JC 83, my pick. Tez, still some money and nice third place. And Pickle, you didn't get a win, but even still walking away with a little bit of cash in your pocket. And of course, we'll see all of these players in the annual finals, folks. Here's the road that it took for them to get here. Had to move through not only group stages, but then into semis. And you can see where they came from and what they were able to accomplish. All 8 of these players, Lenny, Pickle, Kira, Chase, JC, Tez, Coco, Chanel, and Yaya, you will see again January 2025 for our annual final competition. All 8 of those players able to play for $30,000. But the 4 players that made grand finals today, let's take a look at them, folks. A big win across the board, but it's Lenny walking away with $5,000 in pocket. JC right behind, $2,500. Tez at $1,500, and Pickle still winning $1,000 for making it to the finals.
I mean, that's just so impressive from all of these players. And what's exciting is we get to see more of them down the line, right? We get to see potential rematches, trying to take that top spot. Lenny trying to defend this championship. Just a ton of fun, Gojj. I think we saw some amazing gameplay, and I'm super excited to, see what's next. But if you're these 4, obviously if you're Lenny, you're probably feeling the best. But I think even if you didn't take the top spot, you got some cash in your pocket to dry your tears.
Yeah, and quick reminder, by the way, we got a couple more gift codes down the line, but also we're going to have a chance to, I believe, talk to Lenny and see what Lenny has to say about the win. A couple questions coming our way, but a huge congratulations yet again to Lenny and all of the players that made the annual finals. Folks, I've been telling you about it. January, it's actually going to be January 16th. You can mark your calendars. January 16th, the annual finals right around the corner. All 8 of these players going to be there. The 8 players from the first semifinals for the first half of the year are going to be there. January 16th, mark your calendars, because a $30,000 Uno Mobile annual final competition is going to be coming your way on all of these main streaming channels that we're currently live on. You're not going to want to miss that one, and you're not going to want to miss some of your favorite players competing again for even more cash. We have our 16 players, and I am so excited to see who will come out on top of that competition as we celebrate Lenny's win on this competition today. So shout out to Lenny, shout out to Pickle, shout out to everybody that made the annual finals. But again, what an incredible competition today, Katie. And I couldn't be happier. I feel like we hit the whole gambit. We hit the whole kind of the card of all the things, all of the to-do lists that happen here with Uno Mobile Esports, right? We had some very quick wins in group stages, and then we went quite literally as long as we could possibly go in Group D. We saw 22 card draws. We saw crazy discard all plays. We truly got everything.
We got everything. And I mean, that's all you can ask for, especially for us, is we get to watch all the action unfold over the last couple hours. When you can see the full spectrum of what Uno Mobile competition has to offer, it is a ton of fun. So I think really all of our players, even the ones who weren't able to make it to the finals, showed us a great time today. It was so fun.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we're getting Lenny all set up for an interview so we can have a chance to hear the mind of the genius that wins it all today. So if you have questions maybe for Lenny, I would love to see what questions you have for Lenny in the chats. We'll ask some questions here as well. And this is a good reminder too. Lenny and others, all a part of this competition, all were in the Discord. You should go join the Discord right now and follow Uno Mobile on all major socials, folks. A massive community of players all in the Uno Mobile Discord. It is a ridiculous amount of people in there. They have incredible mods. Shout out to the whole mod team that can help you out, get you settled. If you've never used Discord before, doesn't matter. You should go get it, download Discord, and then join the Uno Mobile Discord with the links that are all down below here in the YouTube chat and our other live streams. Moderators here can help you out, and then the moderators in the Discord can help you out if you've never done it before, because it's really cool. And something we always love with these interviews is it's always fun to hear about the community that Uno Mobile has. A lot of these players, they meet each other in the Discord, they get to play together, they play against each other, they play duos together, things like that. And it's fun to kind of be surrounded by like-minded people that all love the same game. So go check it out on all the socials, but also join that Discord and meet some other folks that are big fans of Uno Mobile. And again, I think it's time, while we wait on this interview, to remind you of the new Crown Royale competition as well, all right? We've got a lot going on behind the scenes with Uno Mobile Esports, and this is one of them. Crown Royale right around the corner. This is a big one. The top Uno Mobile players can compete in this. If you've gone through Ring Royale, you've gotten your medal, you can compete in this, and that all opens December 7th. So a couple quick reminders for you, but I'm getting word. I think my good friend Lenny here, who just won the competition, has joined us in the booth. Like, can we bring Lenny in? I mean, Lenny, you gotta be ecstatic, man. I mean, talk to me about the emotions you're feeling right now. You just won the whole competition. You're going to the annual finals, and you just won $5,000. What are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, my adrenaline is just rushing. I mean, I'm extremely excited, and I mean, I was sort of blown away. I didn't expect to get this far, and I mean, I'm looking forward to it, and I can't believe I actually just won money.
Crazy.
Lenny, your enthusiasm is so infectious, and watching your gameplay was too. So you just said you didn't expect to get this far, but did you have any preparation, anything you were doing before the semis today?
Just practicing and like, you know, figuring out other people's strategies, seeing how they play. I think that was a key part of it, and keeping track of what colors other players use. I think that's the most helpful thing that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, that's not only good strategy. I mean, obviously it's good strategy. You won the whole thing, but also great tips and tricks for people at home that are trying to get better. My friend, let's remind the people of what I've been saying the whole broadcast. You won in July as well. You are like a champion times 2. What does that kind of mean to you? Like, what's kind of your experience been with Uno Mobile? What got you into doing these competitions and winning 2 of them now?
Well, I started, it must have been like years ago. I had like on and off. I started, and then for a long time I didn't play, then I got back into it, and I just kept getting into it. And then I saw this thing on like the side of the screen, and it's like, oh, what's this? I'll check it out. So I joined it, started playing in it, and now I'm here. And actually, that first game I won like 2 days or 3 days before my birthday, my 21st birthday, which was amazing.
Well, happy belated. That's awesome. Look, hey, I'm here for all the birthdays. I love that for you. I mean, what a great birthday celebration that must have been. And now, again, here, you're able to get it done a second time, which is so impressive. But what brought you back in, right? You just mentioned that maybe you hadn't been playing for a little bit. You jumped back in. What about Uno Mobile? It brings you back. It hooks you all over again.
I mean, I've always just loved playing it, whether it's online, in person, whatever it is. It's always just a really fun game. And it's just, I really like playing with other people. You don't have to have other people that are there to play. It's just like always ready for you. That's what I really like about it.
It's super easy, and you can also play anywhere too. Like, I think that was kind of my next question is, what's your Uno Mobile routine? Because you say you've been practicing, which I love, and you're gonna have to keep practicing because you got another competition in January. But when do you play? Like, what's your kind of rituals here with Uno Mobile? When do you decide to log on and play the game?
It's very random, I'll say that.
Okay, nice.
Sometimes I'll just go on and I just start playing, and sometimes I have like day after day. Other times it's like I'll play a day here, play a day there. It really just depends on, I guess, what's going on in my day to day.
Cool.
And it's a good downtime.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about your downtime after you're done with this interview. Who are you calling? Who supports you? Who cheers you on? You've already won before. You've just won again. So when you're done talking with us, who are you calling to be like, hey, I just did it again?
Yeah, so for one, my parents, they're gonna be ecstatic. I filled them in about this. And I've told some of my friends about this. I'm like, there's a chance I might win like $5,000 off playing Uno. So I've told them, so now I'll be able to tell them. It's gonna be insane. They're gonna be like, wait, what? But yeah, my friends and my parents.
That is amazing. Well, if your friends and your parents ever tune back in, hey, how's it going? Yeah, Lenny's a champion. It's wild. Lenny, I'll let you go celebrate here. I got one final kind of thought for you. Annual finals right around the corner. I know, I can tell you're going to go practice because $30,000 on the line. You've already told me your tips and tricks. So I just want to give you the floor, man. What's your kind of final words for the broadcast? Anybody else you want to shout out? Anything you want to say to the people at home, maybe that haven't played in any Uno Mobile competitions? Floor is yours, and then we'll let you go celebrate.
Well, for one, I'll just say this. I'm just going to say this because it's been something on my mind. My name is actually Justin, so I'm just going to clarify that.
Okay, nice. Okay, Justin.
But that's a whole other thing. But on top of that, what I would say is, for one, for people already in the app, I mean, it's basically free money. Well, considering you make it.
Yeah.
A free opportunity to win money
There you go.
if you just keep it and play. And I think it's like a really good way to be involved in. And there's always like different modes and different ways you can play. And it's just very, very fun to try out all the different kinds. And I think that's playing with different strategies. That's, I think, one of the most important things.
Heck yeah. Well, Lenny/Justin, congrats again, man. Go celebrate. You've definitely earned it. Back-to-back winner. We'll see if you can pull off a three-peat in a couple months, man. January 16th, $30,000 on the line.
Wow.
Really excited to see you compete again. And thanks again for joining us. Congrats one more time. Go celebrate, man. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you later, Lenny/Justin. We loved your gameplay. Love the interview, maybe even more. All right, Katie, yeah, of course, we let Justin go, and yeah, what a great interview. Well done from him. And I don't know, final words from you, Katie. I think this is the most fun part of the broadcast is when we get a chance to talk to our winners, because they all have different stories, different backgrounds, different ages, different cultures that they represent. And the best conversations are the ones when they come in, they go, I won. And then they get to shout out their people and talk about Uno and talk about community. Really, really cool stuff.
I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. This truly is my favorite part of the broadcast because Uno Mobile is available to everyone, and you just see the diversity of people and their enthusiasm and how infectious it is, and oftentimes how surprised they are that they had that skill and that they got it done. It's so wholesome. It gives me all the warm fuzzies. I absolutely love it. So a huge congratulations to Justin on that second victory, and I love it, Gojj. I think it's so much fun, and of course, as always, it's so great to be in the booth with you and have the privilege to jump on for some Uno Mobile fun.
Yeah, it's always a blast, and we hope to see you more later. But Katie, thank you so much for joining us as well. You were a pleasure in the booth. You crushed it on analytics. You got everything right except for Pickle at the end, but even still, great choices from Katie. And I will say, the only people that chose better than Katie was YouTube chat. Shout out to YouTube chat. They chose Lenny from the very beginning. And so very well done voting in those polls. Look, I've had so much fun here, folks. And I've got a couple things I got to say, and then I'm going to reward you for being right, all right, on Lenny, not for any other reason. So first, before I get to our gift code, one last time, if you're not convinced to download Uno Mobile after that interview with Lenny, I don't know what will convince you. Definitely go get involved, play the competitions, play all the different modes. We got Ring Royale, we got Coins League, we got Crown Royale coming around the corner. You're not going to want to miss it December 7th, but you got to download the game in order to get involved, and go follow Uno Mobile on all socials. Join the Discord, the community we've been talking about, and all of the events and fun things they post on their socials. You're not going to want to miss. They have other YouTube live streams as well. You're not going to want to miss as well. You're just not going to want to miss everything, okay? So to do that, if you don't want to miss it, you got to drop a follow all over the place. But it's time for your gift code. You've earned it. The final words from me that you will hear. Here are our final gift code of the day, and it is a doozy, folks. We've got coins. We've got diamonds. We've got shields. We've got golden tickets. We got everything you could need, and all you have to do is type in "See you in 2025 Jan." See you in 2025 Jan. What is that talking about? We're talking about the annual finals, folks. Every code has a meaning, and this one, a meaning for your game as well, with all the crazy rewards it gives you. One last time, click the cogwheel, head down to gift code, click redeem, and type CU, the letter U, in Jan 2025. All right, that's how you're gonna get your rewards. Limited times, go redeem it. But that's all we have for the broadcast today. January 16th, the annual finals. 2025, a couple months away, but it's the annual finals of this year. We will see the top 16 players from the entire year come together to compete for $30,000. I've told you a million times you're not going to want to miss it, and that's because I promise you, you won't. That's all I've got for you. We couldn't do it without you, the viewers, so thanks for being here. Until next time, until January, maybe for me, I'll see you then.
Or over to JC. No. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, but there we go. There was the discard.
For us, it's so obvious. Now we have 2 players on Uno. We got to watch out for Fenris and Tez. Tez can win it all here, by the way. In goes yellow. That gives Tez the win. It's over.
What?
Fenris, you tried to bluff. You tried to bluff, and you wrote your ticket home. Close out the app. You're now going to blue. That's just game over. That's just Kirik. And a nice challenge there. Unfortunately, Missing Key, it doesn't matter. Kirik able to grab another victory.
Kind of give your hand a little bit by sending it to blue, but who knows what's going to happen as it swings back around.
Oh, no, Fi didn't play the +2.
Wow.
You're totally right. And do we go? We do.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, what Pickle doesn't know as more discard rolls come in is that Fi is going to win this.
What a draw!
Dottie with the crazy top deck draw for a discard. They're both on yellow. It goes yellow. We go for the reverse. It's going to set up 5.
Reverse, yeah.
We're going to double reverse and a skip.
Yeah.
It's still going to be 5. If we skip here, it is 5.
Wow.
It's a skip. 5 gets the... Pickle says, how about a 4-card discard all and a win? Oh, yeah, sure. I'll give 6 cards to Chase. That's even a better win for me. Massive victory from Pickle. I think he's going to take this one. We got to get action cards out of our hands. Chase is able to throw
wow, no.
+2. Chase is going to get the win. Wait.
Lenny
at the end. It's all over. This is crazy. 22, I think, ties the largest I've ever seen in competition. This is gigantic.
Oh, man.
You're not going to be able to read these cards. And I'm pretty sure that is a win for Lenny, folks. With the +2, Lenny sets himself up perfectly for the victory. Styles on him. The winner in July, the top seed, and the winner today. No underdog stories today. Lenny is your champ.
There's a chance I might win like $5,000 off playing Uno. So I've told them. So now I'll be able to tell them it's going to be insane.